Bro, it is Vince Russo. And listen, bro, the Workers Club podcast, bro. It is Larry and Gus and Wilson doing all the work.
All right, it's Workers Club. Oh, what the hell's happening right now? What's going on? It's Workers Club 125. It's Gus. It's Larry. It's Wilson. We have someone reached out to us. We've been begging for it, and someone did. And you can't respond on the thing. You know, it says in all the episode descriptions.
I don't even know what that message is you got.
That's in every episode description. You know, it says shoot us a text. You can reach out to us. It'll come directly to us. Now we have the email, which is what the Workers Club show. The Workers Club show at gmail.com.
It's always in the description.
Now we will write to you if you reach out to that. This we cannot. This is the person essentially texting us from their phone. I've changed it now to make it a little bit more clear. We cannot respond back. It's just mostly sending it to us. It's basically the hosting service being like, hey, use this to get engagement. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. So put it on there. This person. Now, they did not leave a name.
It's a hater.
You think so? I don't think so. I'm not going to dox him. It's from North Carolina. I'm not going to dox.
It's one of the FTR guys that I've been trolling.
You think it's FTR?
No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Well, they typed. Look. This just made me think about I don't know how you guys handle listening to podcasts. This is how I listen to them. I'll listen to the first episode, and then I'll listen to one of the latest episodes. And if I like both, I'll start working my way from the very beginning and do the work.
I'll look for the topics that are the things I like. So, and then if I like their banter, I'll go and look for other stuff.
You can go back, and you hear things. And I was thinking about, with us, sometimes we reference other stuff. And then if you haven't heard, then you're like, hey, what the fuck are they talking about? This person asks from North Carolina.
I'll give you my rationale for this. That's why I know what this is.
Well,
you're acting like I don't, but I do.
No, I know. I think that they listened to some stuff and then they assumed.
No.
Okay, we have competing theories.
I know it's not a theory. I know exactly what it is. I don't know why you're acting like I don't.
No, I don't know what it is. I just took this as a genuine question.
On Twitter.
Oh, you see, this might be Twitter.
A common knock will be you have 5 listeners or something, or your show sucks, or whatever. When you give a hot take about how bad pro wrestling is right now and how embarrassing it is.
Right.
And so you might just fuck with him and be like, I guess you didn't catch your interview with Mick Foley, did you? It's going to get him to fucking listen. And this guy has now gone through the fucking trouble of emailing you, looking for. He's probably listened to every fucking episode.
Okay, so I don't know what Larry's getting up to on Twitter where he's lying.
Listen, the interactions are through the fucking roof. I mean,
but
hundreds of thousands of views.
Of all the greatest people.
Yeah.
The Jobber Nations, the WWE Gareths, look, I took it more genuine. I didn't know what you were doing. Maybe you've hit somebody up with you didn't hear our Jesse. This is how I'll explain how I took it. The question is from North Carolina. Hello, which episode is the Ventura interview? That's it.
But see, here's the thing. I will interact with good faith people. Like, there's some historical wrestling accounts I will follow and, comment on, and they'll like if I bring up like a fucking Tootsmont joke. They'll like it and they'll heart it. So I'm playing to all audiences. I'm not just being a troll. Right. But if they're fucking some 24-year-old with Roman Reigns in his picture who's telling me what cinema is, I can't really shut up.
This, as somebody that did not know what was going on Twitter, this is how I took it. Somebody had been listening to the episodes, and here's our Jesse Ventura intros that are in many of them. I kind of, to be honest, I'm so much of a Vince Russo hater that when he now is in the intro, I'm just like, oh, bring Jesse back. I'm
I'll
like a
start
fan.
varying it. Don't worry.
Who then is like, well, this must be from the interview. They did his book and they must have interviewed him.
That's a good theory. You almost
That
win me
was
back
what
by saying that. If I hadn't said the words Jesse interview.
So I was just going to go on and go, we never did interview Jesse Ventura. This was audio taken from a beautiful cameo that Gus purchased, 2021, 2022. That's how long the Workers Club has been around before we decided to put it to audio. I mean, that was a while ago. This was like, two houses ago for me? I sound like a transient. I'm just can't stay in one place.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I mean, yeah, this was an apartment, and then then the first house. But yeah, that was a while ago, and so yeah, I took it in good faith. I was going to shoot a response immediately back. The service then said, "No, you are supposed to answer on the show. That's the idea of this." I went, "Okay, fine. Let me reword this. Then this is an engagement. I
well,
understand."
then this person's even stupid for sending the question because they're never going to get an answer.
Well, now I've reworded the text that goes above the thing. It says something like questions, comments, will answer on the show. And so if he's listening, there's your answer. It's a cameo, and we spliced it together to sound conversational. We got you, Jesse. Like some kind of mobile app game. We got you. Same with Vince. We paid you your money. Now you're ours. I don't have any news. There's nothing going on other than the Jonathan Coachman thing that happened that I thought was very funny.
What was that?
Well, as you know, WrestlePalooza was on ESPN. Now, who used to work for used to, right? He does not currently work.
He had
for
a little
ESPN.
problem there. I heard. I don't. Was it a sexual harassment claim? I think it might have been.
I believe so.
Why do those guys have all the fun? It's a little joke to the oral history book that I have somewhere around here.
I know.
Jonathan Coachman went to Twitter. The fact that me and my team didn't make this video package hurts us a little. Apparently, they aired some kind of ESPN video package to kind of like remember all the times previously ESPN and WWE have worked together, something along those lines, with like ESPN personalities and stuff like that have graced the WWE airwaves. The fact that me and my team didn't make this package hurts us a little. We took SportsCenter to multiple manias. We did Tuesday interviews from SmackDown for over 2 years. But at least anchors that don't know anything about wrestling made it. Thank you, Trips. LOL. To my 5 guys who rolled with me, we know.
So he wants to do.
He wants his
packages for
flowers.
WWE because he worked at ESPN a decade ago.
I gotta call it the person that wrote this 411 Mania article that like aggregated, took the Twitter thing and made a little news article. Joseph Lee, I'm sorry, but you wrote here. However, Jonathan Coachman, who helped facilitate the relationship when he was working for both, please stop.
Come on.
No.
He helped. Yes, Jonathan Coachman was the like Washington crossing the Delaware.
Al Snow facilitating the Netflix relationship.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Same thing.
No. But yes, Jonathan Coachman is hurt, which is like the minute that they acknowledge him even a little bit, he'll be just back there slurping them back. So don't worry about these guys. Just they want something for their time there. Wasn't it worth something? No is the answer. No.
Yeah, I don't obsess over like jobs I had 10 years ago. That's fucking weird.
Imagine if I've been around, I'm almost day oneer. If they did a video pack and I was like, they forgot me. I don't even know if it would register. They forgot me. It's a little bit different because I helped.
That in this era of nostalgia, Coach is not even like remotely considered to come back and like do a.
That
you know
is
what I
funny.
mean?
Yeah, no. The current fan base will like wax poetic on like what's the gal that
was getting a lot of love.
yeah. Or what was the gal that like did the singing? That was her gimmick. She sang badly, poorly.
Jillian Hall.
Yeah, they'll wax like about that kind of level of quote unquote diva. And but yeah, Jonathan Coach, nobody's going, remember all the great announcing heel coachman with the sunglasses? Nobody ever no shine for him. And you look, he's on a podcast with Vince Russo. If you would have probably gone back in time when he was with the company and Vince Russo was out of the company, was like, one day you'll be doing a Vince Russo podcast and be part of his network and talking about, he would probably take a long, hard look in a mirror.
I think I told you before, but Coachman once made fun of me during an episode of Bite This in 2004.
Well, now we're biased. Now nothing we said matters because clearly this is a grudge that's been. What did he do? What did you?
To ask a question about the Diva search being rigged, and then halfway through, I'm like, "What am I doing?" And I just hung up. And then he like went to me, and I wasn't there, and he made some sarcastic quip.
Larry from Cleveland. What did he want to ask about the Diva search? We listened to part of the Al Snow series. We listened when he was commentating because he talked about commentating and why it didn't work out, and him and Coach and all that. It was rough stuff. Look, he's I don't know. I was out by that. I mean, he was kind of coming up when I was leaving, so I don't know. I have really no hard opinion on Coachman other than he
was awful.
You just see, he's crying. Vince McMahon's ribbing him, but he's like, it's that thing. He was in the, today I was thinking, man, one day we'll have to do like Becky Lynch's book, and that's we have yet to do somebody that's still kind of in the business or anything like that, like a Danielson book or a Chris Jericho book.
We always got Kevin Kazar we can do next.
We got Kevin K, Mox, Young Bucks have a book. I'll make a point about that too, about the Mox and Young Bucks. I've read both, the Mox and Young Bucks book. I got to tell you. Okay, first let me get to my okay. I feel like a lot of these, common thing with WWE is that it's a cult, or it's cult-like. Even now, still, like you kind of get in, and all of a sudden you're like, and Coachman can probably speak to this. You're kind of taking the pill. You're drinking the Kool-Aid, and I feel like when we read one of these modern books, like a Becky Lynch book, I don't know, we haven't read it yet, but they'll be describing very cult-like issues, like where it's like you should have said something, and it's just going to be them going, and I didn't say anything. And it's going to be kind of heartbreaking.
Does she talk about when Vince asked if she got a tan?
I think she talks a lot about Vince and like his reaction to things. Like I think there's even a section that I think, for a while Reddit was grabbing her audiobook and putting it to like clips or something, or somebody was doing that, putting clips of her audiobook to the video for reference. And she was talking about like Vince just she didn't sell a punch, and Vince just absolutely like doing the thing of being like you're seeking his approval and withholding, and and it's just a behavior that's just like, what the fuck? At what point were or do you pull your head out of the clouds and go, what the fuck am I doing? What is this? What are we doing? My point to the Mox and Young Bucks book, you read the Mox book, you're like, this is John Moxley. He clearly tapped this out key by key. The Young Bucks whole thing is we wrote this whole thing on our phones while we were traveling. And it is such a neutral, they achieved the greatest thing of, it is such a neutral tone throughout the book. It could be anybody that wrote it. You're like, yes.
Which book?
The Young Bucks book.
Oh.
Because they infamously wrote it, their thing was we wrote it out on our phone. Like, it took us forever because we're typing it out like on notes and then sending it out, and there's no voice to it at all. None, zero. There's no, there's that infamous, smarmy sense of humor. It's very plain, very dry. Then this happened. Then this happened. This is a person that's important to us. This, whereas Mox, it's a guy clearly sweating over a keyboard, like he's trying to say something to you. He's actually trying to tell you something. It's crazy the difference between the two. Anywho, all in due time. And did you know Bret Hart was doing an audiobook finally of his book? Did we talk about that?
I saw that announced, yeah.
Do you think when he was reading it, finally after all these years, he was like, oh shit. Like he had some of our thoughts that we had.
It would be wild to hear Bret talking all the puss talk that he does.
Did I really write about this? Like when he's talking
Rosie.
about like the
he's gonna add more details in the audiobook. He's gonna just give you an extra 20.
See, like, I mean, some of that stuff we were like, he wrote this. He put pen to paper or whatever he did, where he was like, I gotta talk about this. All the guys, like, look, it's beautiful when all the guys are pissing on the side of the road, him and his children and the rest, or whoever the fuck, and like they're arcing, the piss is arcing, and they're like
in the moonlight,
the stars in the moonlight, and he's
all
like
the golf wars, first shots spring out.
Having this moment as I guess Brett's just sizing everybody's arcs of piss and the moonlight's glistening off. It says he's just got to take a moment. He's just like, wow, like, yeah, all these years later. I mean, so much shit. Just like,
am I going to be stick enough to pick the AJ Lee book?
Mental health advocate.
I'm trying to find contemporary wrestler books now.
I mean, there's a lot.
I do own a copy of Trumpomania, how wrestling helped Donald Trump, but that was from like 2017.
Jesus. I mean, there's so many. I mean, people keep coming out with books. I mean, there's so many. I mean, fucking yes, Killer Cross came out with a book.
It is funny. Like, I have seen zero press on that book. I don't know if his like.
I want to know the sales numbers.
You've seen zero press about the fucking guy.
Oh yeah.
No more We Want Cross chants.
Like, you'd think somebody would interview him, but like,
he's at this point where he's reaching out to us. He's like, look, I'll go toe to toe with you guys. Controversy creates cash. Let's do something.
Maybe we'll give him a platform. We'll give him a voice.
He's tweeting about NXT. He's
what's his name? Kevin or something?
Kevin Kazar.
Kevin Kazar.
Yeah. Now I've learned our lesson about author interviews, and I think when did we interview Ian? Were we done with the book or not done with the book?
I think we were done.
But we were complimentary, so we were okay, it's fine. After we record the last one is when I'm reaching out to Tim.
Okay.
Not that we haven't been.
It's fine.
I've enjoyed. It's fine.
Yeah.
We have not I think any criticism we've had is fair.
He did his work.
But I have the whole thing written out. I've got all my questions. I'm all good. So I'm all prepped. I don't know why I'm doing Bob Dole hand right now, but can't see it on the. But yes, after we record next week, I will be reaching out to Tim. Sir, may I have an hour of your time?
I've been expecting you.
Yes. Look, he might follow us on Blue. He's a Blue Sky guy. Is he a Twitter guy, or is he on Twitter as well?
I've never come across him if he is.
He's on Blue Sky, and I think he follows us. So it's maybe possible. We have been, or I was posting about it. I kind of fell off as I got a little busier at the real job. Okay, let's get into it. Anybody else have any burning issues they want? Anybody want to recap WrestlePalooza?
I was going to give a state of the business address, but I'm not.
No, do it. No, do it because no. Don't be angry. Well, do you need the fire in you to? You can do it like
it. It's okay.
Well, what was your? maybe I can rally you back up. What was your problem?
I think if God had a refrigerator, all of our report cards would be taped to it.
You always
if God carried a wallet, all of our pictures would be in it. So that's nice.
Yeah.
That is kind of nice. I do like that. Like, oh, God's got the little Gus report card in his fridge. It's cute.
Maybe what we think is our mistake is actually God's foot brake. I don't know why he says foot brake.
Foot brake? What's a foot brake?
Yeah.
Gus and I both inside unison. What's a foot brake?
I don't know.
No, come on. What's a foot, Larry? What's a foot?
I mean, there are hand brakes versus foot brakes, right? I mean, I'm just usually. It's
just he's talking about like a car brake.
I guess.
I've never heard a brake be called a foot brake.
Yeah.
What we think is our mistake is actually God's foot brake. Unless God's breaking his foot off in our ass.
No, I think he's saying pump the brakes.
When we make a mistake, it's actually God making us stop.
Yes, and hey, look, he's hitting the brake.
Is that why God gave me cancer?
Why can't you? God was saying pump the brakes.
I wouldn't call cancer.
You know what the best part about having cancer is just being able to make cancer jokes.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it's a great card to have.
Now, how do you feel about Dennis Leary, who did not made a whole album, "No Cure for Cancer"?
You know, people process their experiences differently, and I'm glad he found an outlet.
Well, today let's all perspire to aspire to inspire others in love.
Fucking knew it. The minute you said perspire, I was like, I know exactly the fucking words, and I fucking know where this is going. I don't like that. I do like that you always trick me, and I always think you're about to say something, and then I always get hit with these. I'm always like, oh, later.
I know. I like the swerve ones.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh, man.
But if we're going to get into the book, I want to lead off with something.
By all means.
Because there's at least two characters from this book in this clip I'm going to show you. So.
Oh yeah.
I found it. 1974 is The Wrestler. We'll watch this little scene.
Okay.
Nice ass.
That guy that dived in the pool is so like. I'm on camera.
Hold it, McMahon. If there's been a wrestler who deserves a shot at the national title, it's Mike. Frank, that's not the point. Then what is the point? Well, Mike's been a
he's supposed to be Vern.
He's held a belt longer than anybody I can.
Well, Vern is in the movie.
Oh, Vern is Vern?
He's like Vern the promoter, and Vern in the movie is Vern the wrestler.
Ah, okay.
Kind of
I've not seen this movie. Okay.
Yeah, that's the great Ed Asner, of course.
I refuse to believe that Vern booked by a public swimming pool. Is that accurate?
Every wrestling promoter does.
Man. Those key parties at Lake Minnetonka?
Booking by the lake? Sure. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, listen to
these comb overs. Okay.
Vince has.
Oh, no, Vince is on the right here.
Yep.
Like,
then we're gonna hear a Dusek too in here.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, dude.
A shot at the national title. It's Mike. Frank, that's not the point. Then what is the point? Well, Mike's been a great wrestler. He's held a belt longer than anybody I can name. And there you go. Yeah,
Frank, this is our first national contest. It's got to be good, and it's got to be fresh.
There's Dusek.
We need young wrestlers, guys with vitality.
What the hell are you talking about? Huh? Mike's got more vitality than any wrestler you can name me.
Can you pause it?
Frank, you're making us the villain.
Yeah.
I don't like the framing in this because when they cut to Dusek, they cut to the other guy that you can't even see in the frame of the other thing.
It's a bizarrely shot movie.
Who's that guy though? That guy, he looks like a wrestler. What's it?
I don't know.
know.
No idea. I was just
like,
looking up who the other promoters. It's
probably like who's some of these wrestlers that he's brought up in this book? It's probably like Rick Denton or who the fuck.
Wilbur Snyder is in the movie somewhere. I don't. Yeah. It could be Wilbur Snyder. Okay.
That's exactly what you are. Mike's our friend too, but you know we're right. He doesn't fit the image we need for a national contest. Image? What about your other league champions? Dory Funk is bald,
This is
man.
so below Ed
Yeah, Frank, but
Asner.
he's only 32.
Wow, you hear that?
He's only 42.
No, he said Dory Funk is bald.
Yeah.
Oh, we rewind it. Sorry, I missed it. Just because I was
Dory
like,
Funk
God,
is
why
bald.
is Ed Asner doing this? The
What about the
tan
other
on.
league champions?
Hang on.
Okay, you
Mike's
better.
our friend too, but you know we're right. He doesn't fit the image we need for a national contest. Image? What about the other league champions? Dory Funk is bald, man.
Yeah, Frank, but he's only 32 years old.
Frank, we've been on your back for over a year.
Pause it.
Now, you either perform or the
That screw. What is that?
association will
What
run the
is
Super Bowl without
Stop
what's Vincent?
talking. What are you?
Sorry,
what
what's
about?
Vincent drinking? Look, well,
You're
one.
not
Look at
hearing
Vincent.
Vince's great New York accent.
Okay, we will. But look at the tan. Look at the
Oh
tie.
yeah, he spent some time in Florida.
I mean, and look, that's his tie, right?
Yeah,
Or is that a shirt? That's a tie.
that's his
It's
tie.
got the top
He's got
knot.
the Vince. He's got
It's
the
got the
different colored
Vince.
knot.
Vince is not noticing.
What a pompadour, man.
What's that drink there? It's not.
It's a
Is it a
screwdriver,
screwdriver?
maybe?
You think it's just straight up a screwdriver?
With an actual orange slice? That's class.
Yeah, that's what it's. Yeah, that's where I was like. But the balls of a bald guy like Ed Asner, a type. If this guy were to be like, that guy's bald.
No. But you don't hear the preceding comment.
What
That
was-
guy is saying Vern, whose character's name is Mike Bullard, doesn't fit the profile of a champion. So he's actually insulting Vern for being bald. And
Oh, I
so
thought you
he's
were
saying
Dory
Dory
Funk.
Funk is bald too.
Okay,
That's why the
I
guy
see.
then says Dory Funk
Okay.
is only 32 because fucking
Okay.
Vern is 50 in
I was
this.
gonna say, see, I haven't seen this. I was like, what the fuck is?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I apologize. Continue.
Mike's our friend too, but you know we're right. He doesn't fit the image we need for a national contest.
See?
Image? What about the other league champions? Dory Funk is bald, man.
Yeah, Frank, but he's only 32 years old.
Frank, we've been on your back for over a year.
That I know.
Now, you either perform or the association will run the Super Bowl without you. Now, what the hell are you going to do about that?
Damn.
Who are these guys?
Billy Taylor's what I'm gonna do about it.
All right.
He jumps in the pool.
Look at that.
Oh, nope.
Right on screen there. Yeah, well, what an accent. Perform.
I thought.
What are you going to do about it?
What's
Yeah, he strong arms him.
What's crazy about that is that when in these couple chapters we're going to do, this is basically Sam Muchnick talking to Vincent McMahon about who's champion. Please, will you please do what I say? Will you please do it?
Consent decree.
That scene would have been much better if he gets strong armed, whatever Ed Asner character, and then he just jumps into the pool with the cigar. You follow him. He goes okay, and he walks away. Cannonballs into the pool.
You don't think just walking in would be better? Like Skylar.
Just walking in like he's despondent, like.
Oh,
And then
and hang on. Two things that will reference old episodes. First of all, in this movie, the mob is bullying him.
is that the other table of guys?
I don't think it is. The mob is a different group of guys.
Okay.
But I also forgot Ann Gunkel in Georgia, the Georgia promoter. Supposedly she was in with the mafia.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Ole says that, and a lot of people have said that. It could just be wrestling hillbillies thinking anybody Italians in the mafia.
Yeah, there's no way this woman could be successful without the mob.
Who was it? Was it Colin in the Discord who was saying, well, the wrestling wasn't making enough money for the mob to be interested? Are you kidding me? Have you not watched The Sopranos? We're fighting over pennies over here.
Phone cards.
I mean, come on. All right. Oh, I'm backwards. Whoa. Chapter 10, Under the Shadow of Government Inquest. Tim says professional wrestling was cyclical during the territorial days, and I say you don't say. And even
Are
some
there any non-cyclical businesses?
yeah, that's true. Some argue that it remains so today. I don't think anybody's arguing. Who's arguing that wrestling
Against it. Yeah.
is a consistent through line?
It's cyclical. I disagree.
Yeah, I'd love to hear the argument.
Yeah.
Are there any other businesses that are cyclical like this?
To this degree.
Yeah. I mean, retail for sure.
I think everything is. Everything
Yeah,
has
a
its
lot of
time.
it's just based on the economy and how that's doing.
Okay.
I love talking about the
No,
economy.
I mean it's hard. Like I don't think other sports really are though, right? Like
That's what I'm
No,
thinking.
yeah, no.
You're-
NFL has been up. Yeah, when's the NFL cycle coming? When are we gonna hit that?
I mean, baseball's kind of been a constant downtrend, right?
yeah. What would the
Well,
word
listen,
be for
baseball
that?
had a huge one in '94.
Yeah, what would the word
Right.
be for that? Where you have like peaks, not valleys, but you're not quite as not cyclical.
Just a plateau.
Yeah, you plateau where you're very
Yeah.
popular, but not crazy popular.
I mean, hockey's
Sustaining.
the shitter.
It well, maybe
Yeah,
now I
right.
am arguing WWE. They are, when they aren't popular, they are kind of just steady now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a much higher floor.
Yes, as opposed, so maybe
Yeah,
he's-
they'll never be back to like running, the high school gyms or anything like that.
not.
But also, they've got the ability to just kind of go. Venture capital's fucking weird. I mean, who knows what can happen overnight? Like, who even really owns the company?
Sure.
I think they'll probably do a residency at in Riyadh.
Yeah, of course.
Do it at the UFC. What is that called? Where they
White
do their
Island?
shows. they do. They have the. It's escaping me now, but they do shows there. They have their like little arena there. Little. Colin is gonna light me up for not having all this at the tip of my tongue. Yeah, they can do residency there in Abu Dhabi. Is that what Dubai? Abu Dhabi. That's the prison.
Man, I think it's time we start opening North Korea for business. That's a whole market.
Why not? Have you noticed that WWE likes to go to Europe now? It's got kind of like 90s Bret Hart vibes of like, we're really hot and they're really vocal.
They're already starting to run that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pricing people out over there.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about those new WrestleMania ticket prices going?
I'm
Bruno,
sorry,
what
but
is
if
it?
you go to that and you pay that money, you're stupid. You're dumb. That's $1,000. Like, literally do anything else with that.
I mean,
$1,000 to get in the building. That's
well, I'll say this: they've lost.
First row
steam.
was 34 grand.
First row is 34 grand.
Yeah.
Green shirt guy just is gonna. The more he shows up at these shows, the more people are gonna keep looking askew at him. A little.
Get
Oh,
into
yeah.
crank. I mean, that would be less humiliating, and you would get more out of life if you were high and spending your money on drugs.
You're saying he should find like
Yes.
he should go into that like do so much heroin. That he's, find yourself, Green. He takes his shirt off. He's like, I don't need this anymore.
$2,000 to go to both nights. Like,
I promise you.
what's the
that
cost to get into the Super Bowl? That's got to be about the same price, right?
I spent probably $200 in quarters on the fake ponies in Las Vegas, and I promise you, I had more fun than any WrestleMania I'd ever go to. Rooting on robotic horses.
I mean, if you got the money, I guess, but I don't know. Put somebody
To
else's
what?
kids
To
through
what?
college or
Okay.
something. Help out humanity.
Well-
Like,
Super Bowl is more expensive.
okay.
$3,000 each was the cheapest ticket.
Here's the problem. I got the problem right here. So the Super Bowl, you're probably going because one of your teams is playing, or you just want to be at a Super Bowl fair. Well, I don't know, whatever. I would never go, but okay.
It's
So
not
what
your
was
team,
it?
though, right? Because aren't tickets on sale way before even?
Yeah, it's mostly I don't
mean, if
know.
the Bears ever get into the Super Bowl in my lifetime, I'm going. Like that's
Well,
not
there,
even
see,
a
there you
question.
go. Maybe it's a sojourn for some people. Is that even the right word? We're so cooked already.
No, it's like it's a pilgrimage.
Yeah, pilgrimage.
I'm just saying retail though. You're buying them way before the championship games, so you don't know.
You're feeling. I think though, don't they release some tickets?
Okay,
the team
maybe.
that makes it. I think they release.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then.
They're not great, I imagine, but you're there.
You just want to be in the building.
What was the front row price for the Mania?
32.
The latest 32. To go, you're paying that to go. Eat. Am I doing the eat right?
Now listen, this is where it doesn't scale because the most expensive Super Bowl tickets are only $8,000.
Wow.
So they only go 3 to 8, whereas WWE is, I think, $400 is the cheapest one night ticket.
Yeah, I mean, I
400
guess there's not really the lure of being on the hard camera of an NFL game.
That's true.
I made the
And
hard
right,
camera.
your view kind of gets worse if you're kind of flattened, at the back end of a, end zone or something on the floor.
I mean, they're paying for the entrances. They're paying for to sing
eat.
along with Seth. To, I mean, I can't imagine paying that much money to I mean, that's a lot of money to do that.
Invest in an index fund.
I know. Imagine giving that money to a why am I not finding words tonight? What's the thing where people go a pantry, a food bank? Thank you.
Listen,
Imagine giving them that much money.
18 months I lived off the food bank. You know how much they could have used it.
You know how many cans of the beans that buys?
$2,000 could feed somebody for a year if they're frugal and thrifty enough.
Yeah.
This is directed at Green Shirt Guy. All that money that you've spent, think about all the good you could have done, and instead you spent it watching Randy Orton.
He got to do his own entrance at WrestleMania. How cool is that? What a cool
I hope
guy.
whoever was there, they probably would have cheered him though. Oh, he should be booed. He should be walked through the streets and people throw rotten veggie at him.
I'll rant about this and then we can get into the book.
I know we start. It's
That's
been
okay,
two
because we
sentences.
didn't read that much.
Yeah.
So the Stephanie thing happened. Now here's what's really the Hall of Fame.
Are you ready?
Hey, Stephanie.
The amount of wrestlers congratulating her.
I didn't see any of this. See, you get so much on Twitter.
Every lady wrestler is like, "You're our mom. You've done so much." And I just keep posting the Obama giving himself a medal picture, and the elephant blowing itself picture has been used a lot too.
I was not aware there was an elephant blowing itself.
You are so dirty on Twitter.
Hey, man, that's free speech, right? It's the last place where the First Amendment...
It is the Everything app is the bastion of free speech, yes.
Why isn't
Are
there
we using
one...
the Grok thing to, like, create pictures of, like, people...
Grok. Stephanie deserved to be in there. Okay, go.
Why isn't there, like, one malcontent in wrestling? Every single one of them is a fucking ass-kissing, like... Mark.
I don't even know if malcontent would be you want somebody to go...
Who hates the system?
Just
or,
what the fuck is going... I mean, I think the best you get is maybe, you might not like this, but Hangman, who is just like, I'm never gonna, I don't have any desire,
I guess so. Okay, you know what? That's a good one, because I was also thinking that.
But he couches it in very, I'm fine.
Luther had that quote, remember, a few weeks ago, where he's like, someone came from across the country to see me, and I asked him why. You should be doing something else.
That was Gunther, yes.
Yeah.
There should be, more of that, yes.
What did I say?
Well, there was Randy Orton. There was a clip of him going around, at one of the most recent, PLEs, where he asked, I think it's SummerSlam, asked somebody like in the front row how much they paid for their tickets. They saw the price, and he's like, "That's fucking crazy!" Like he was disgusted. Like,
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
That's like 300 RC cars. Cut for him. You get now it is kind of channeled into the most you might get is somebody that's like progressive-y, like or whatever, lefty, like Zack Sabre Jr. or so,
Brody
like,
King with his abolition.
Yeah, like Brody, somebody that's just like it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a little bit okay.
They're never gonna come out like, or Will Ospreay like has said like, oh yeah, Triple H said something about the grind. Well, I've been doing this since I was 15. Like I don't know what he's talking about.
I've been doing this since I was 16, bro.
Well, he'll say something. Bro, I will tell you that you.
My nemesis. Nando's.
There was a funny tweet, and I gotta give him props, but it said it was a lady, and it said, "If I ever get pregnant, I'm gonna eat so much fucking Tylenol so that my baby turns into a Will Ospreay type wrestling phenom."
That's amazing. That is.
Props to her, whoever she was.
We gotta get her on.
Look, I hate to bring this to. I really do. I really hate to bring this to a Phil Brooks Hangman thing.
Oh,
but he was asked about how do you feel about WrestlePalooza being, counter programming. And he was like, well, we don't think about it. And he was also asked about, what's your dream? Something like that. And it was very lined up with when he said the thing that got him in trouble with Punk in the first place, where I don't ask legends things, I got here on my own. And so he's like, I don't really think about dream matches. Like, I don't think about it like that. I just think about trying to be the best wrestler I can be. And then people are like, oh, I like that guy. And I was like, CM Punk listened to this guy and was like, I hate this young man. This ties into look, do you want me to talk about Phil Brooks talking about how he's a wrestling historian and he's got a Mount Rushmore?
No, listen, that stupid gif after the match, did you see it where he's looking at AJ's butt?
No, I haven't
really
seen
gratuitously. He's making a bit of it. He's acting like he can't believe it because she's standing on the ropes in front of him, and he's just like asses in the face. And the weird parasocial people on Twitter are like, oh my God, he loves his wife so much, you can tell. It was the most performative thing I've ever seen. I won't even mention the object of his gaze not being worth such a gaze. But
come on.
I mean, I don't
look. Here's the problem with this. I was thinking about this recently. CM Punk's whole thing is if you're talking about me or you have an opinion about me, as if like as somebody in a public eye, it's like, oh my God, somebody's talking
to me,
about me.
It strikes of. Did you ever know like an older redneck couple when you were a kid who were like overly affectionate in public, making out, or like they still thought their wife was hot and they were 59 or something, and usually biker type people.
Yes, that'll be me in the future. Yes, that's correct.
But that's what it feels like. Is all I'm saying.
It's CM Punk has this thing where he's very performative, but then when people are like, seems a little performative, he's like, oh, you think that, do you? Like the fact that this guy brought up like, oh, I'm not crashing out. Hey, I've been here a while. It's like, well, you've been here almost the same amount of time before you got fired. So, I mean, it will happen. It will happen. You don't think they brought the wife on to placate? Come on now. This is buying time. He's still feuding with Seth Rollins. He doesn't want to do that.
I welcome a flame out. God,
he's going to.
We all want to flame out.
He's going to flame out. The fact that it feels like he has to comment on a flame out, on that he's like, I haven't crashed out. It's like, buddy, he's got it marked on the calendar of like, I was in AEW. And then in November, I'll be in there 2 years. And so in November, I will make a post about.
You know what it feels like? This is just me being weird. It's like guys who post, I'm 2 years sober today. It's like, you're doing what you should have been doing all along. It's not really an accomplishment to the real world.
It's just like,
And that's
Okay,
what
I
this is.
applaud
You
you,
kept
Phil.
your job for 2 years.
Yes.
Good job.
You've eaten Paul's shit as he's continually booked you with Seth Rollins. Good job. You did a friendship bracelet feud and didn't absolutely explode on
And
somebody.
the first of those years, you didn't even work, so you can't even count that one because you were
that's
hurt.
what I was doing the math, and I was like,
Who has
brother,
Punk elevated since he's gotten back?
it's the same thing that he didn't elevate anybody in AEW. He was constantly beating every young guy. Which is
also
fine.
That's also the whole promotion. That's been a big thing this week too. It's the fucking senior tour. Cena's got to put over Brock.
Well,
That
we're going
young
to do something
up-and-comer?
with Brock. We're going to do something with Brock. Why would you have Brock beat Cena on his tour?
Seth-
Who cares?
Seth said he was the future of the business. He's my age.
Okay. Do we want to talk about that? I know we're 45 minutes in. Do we want to talk about Cody saying who's going to take over for Triple H? Paul Levesque. Booking. Cody, Seth, or Punk? And it's like, well, Punk was allegedly a driving force in the booking of Collision. Fine. He liked a lot of 6-man tags. He was kind of doing the, he was building towards a strap match or whatever he liked kind of that old school stuff.
Honestly, Punk
Whatever.
doesn't sound that bad compared to.
It's fine. That's not going to happen in WWE.
No.
Next. Also, no one's going to give him that spot. Next.
And he would never fit in that system.
No.
He wouldn't do these calls and talk the corporate
not-
buzz
no.
speak that Paul does.
Nick Khan calls Punk. You got to call Dwayne.
I'm listening to Black Flag. Call me back. I'm playing video games with my dog. Fuck the dog. God, everyone has a fucking dog. Yours isn't special. Just because it's fucking ugly and stupid.
I love you, Mr. Peanut Butter. Go
Yeah, everyone has a dog. It's great. But I don't have to
I
keep
have a
everybody
dog.
losing the peanut.
My wife wishes I was nicer to the dog. Then the other option is Cody, right? Which we've all seen
Great
Cody's booking. I like that it came out allegedly that Cody was like, who should come out during the Drew McIntyre? Randy Orton should come out. And I was like, what the fuck? I said, I don't even watch this stuff. And I'm like, Randy Orton comes out? What the fuck is that?
Want to try to beat Gabe Sapolsky?
Yeah, Gabe. I like that Cody's like, who should take over? Who should take over creative? He's just like, wrestlers I know. Gabe's not in there. What's the other guy the TNA guy that's down in AAA now?
Oh, Borash.
Borash. Yeah, Borash isn't in the mix. It's like me, Seth, and it's like Seth. I don't know any. What are Seth's ideas? I have no fucking idea. What if somebody's loud and they're obnoxious and it's like a heel thing?
Well, there was that interview I think we read way back about his creative process.
Yes, very possibly. This does ring a bell, and it was like, okay. I think Larry might have tapped out. I think I said, do you want to hear about Seth's creative process? And Larry was like, absolutely not. No, I do not. All right. I mean, have we got it out of ourselves?
Yeah, we're done.
We clearly were all have issues with the current product. I enjoyed some matches on All Out. I liked.
I had a good time with. I love the tax match.
Jon Moxley is my wrestler of the year.
The Hangman Fletcher match was good. I liked the women's 4-way.
I texted our friend Steve that he is out on wrestling because the WWE is making him sad, and he's out on all wrestling, which I bring up to him that is very not nice to other wrestling. That he loves New Japan Pro Wrestling. He does like that style of wrestling, main event wrestling. And I said, the closest you're going to get now, since New Japan's in the shitter, the closest you're going to get now is the Hangman Fletcher match for New Japan style main event pro wrestling.
I think I was at Steve's last AEW show. What do you think about that? I think I know why he doesn't go anymore.
Why doesn't he go anymore?
It was just an embarrassing show.
That's my
20,000 seat arena. There were like 1,500 people there.
I have a weird relationship with AEW in that the shows I think are good. Everyone's like, that was a bad show. And the shows that people are like, that was good. I'm like, man, it was okay. And when they also have a problem, I'll tell you this. I feel like they have a problem that when people, shows that people tune into, I feel are bad shows. And then the good shows, no one watches. So I'll be like, that was a good pay-per-view. And it's like, nobody watched it. And then the bad ones, people will be like, everyone watched it. Like, they can't catch a break, those poor guys. Yay, nay? Okay. Well, look. Yeah, if you want to look all out. Moxley, Darby, Fletcher, Hangman, Briscoe, MJF. Is that about it? You have any, Gus? Is that cover it?
Like I said, I have the women's 4-way.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. The women's 4-way. The ladder match. Who gives a shit? I mean, goddamn.
Yeah, it was whatever.
Ladder matches. Okay, so back first page of chapter 10. Here we go. Fred Kohler. Remember that guy? He was over in Chicago, and he was just going. He's going.
Is that like the Kohler like bathroom products?
I don't know. We're diverting again. Larry, look it up.
Sorry.
Larry's gonna look it up.
It is spelled the same. That's all.
New York was so.
I got a Kohler toilet in my bathroom. That'd be kind of fun every time I.
So he's lost his Saturday Night Dumont program, right? So all that when he was kind of running the wrestling biz, that's not so much. Chicago now all of a sudden, Chicago is on its last legs. Tim says. So Vincent J. McMahon is like, okay. What if I bring Kohler in here? All right. Eddie Quinn of Montreal is invading. What? Who? New York? Chicago?
Chicago.
I am Eddie Quinn, and I am invading from Montreal.
Oh boy. See, we talk too much now.
Listen, let's take 10 and we'll get into the fucking book.
Okay. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to get it.
No, we'll get through 2 chapters. It'll be a perfectly balanced show.
Thank you. Larry's got the faith.
I never knew Vince went to Chicago, so this was fascinating to me.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yes. Yeah, this is where Fred Kohler wants help from McMahon, or McMahon wants to help him. Let's get some capital workers over in Chicago. Let's see. Yes, that's where he entered. McMahon used his television program and its reputation to influence executives. Chicago's WNBQ. So yeah, it's Kohler and McMahon working together. We got Antonino Rocca and Miguel Perez still tag teaming, headlining Madison Square Garden.
Main event anywhere.
1959, Pedro Martinez has retreated from New York City.
Bringing in the Puerto Ricans.
Jack Pfeffer and the Amazing Zuma is, he's got cachet because of the Amazing Zuma. Let's see where we go. So yeah, Pfeffer, he's an old, everybody knows Pfeffer, and he's got a decent roster there, and but Toots and McMahon are like, we know Jack Pfeffer, we know. So finally, Zuma goes up against Antonino Rocca in 1959. November 13th, 21,890 fans jammed in the Garden, he says. $64,000, 125. So Pfeffer's not happy with the politics involving Rocca. Willie Gilzenberg in December of 1959 warns Pfeffer. He says that Zuma it needs to be presented as the next Rocca.
He warns him because Pfeffer says he's never going to use him again.
Yeah.
And he'll let him go to Coriani.
And he says, this guy you need to not be taking unnecessary losses, and you need to be presenting him as the next big thing. Pfeffer does Rocca versus Zuma again. They do good. This is 1960. Rocca won by count out. Dan Parker, the New York Daily Mirror, says the Zuma-Rocca feud is the biggest thing in wrestling since Jimmy Londos, the Golden Greek, and Joe Savaldi used to turn them away 25 years ago.
It used to be better.
Yep. All right. Pfeffer wants the Madison Square Garden ring surrounded by chicken wire so that everyone stays inside the ring. Because,
chicken wire? That's fucking dumb.
Well, it's the count out, Nobody can be counted out. Nobody can be knocked out of the ring. There's chicken wire.
Shit. You're not going to get cut open on chicken wire.
It's the first stage match.
You're thinking like an ECW head. He's not thinking about people getting cut open. He wants everyone just to stay. He wants people rolling around in the ring. No one's getting out.
Then you do a lumberjack match.
You should have been in the room.
Like that.
Yeah, you should have been in the room. What if we have all these guys around the ring? Well, we'll have to pass this up to Muldoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Athletic Commission says, what are we talking about here? No. And guess what? Zuma gets knocked out of the ring by a drop kick and gets counted out again. Which again,
wonder there were riots at these shows. Like, how pissed off? Like, you've been drinking for like 8 hours. Like,
I wrote down, what are we doing? Because this is that thing again with even the wrestler books we've done, where it's like, these are not shoot drop kicks. So what is happening here? Why is it being presented as like a kind of a shoot? Like, Pfeffer had this idea to put chicken wire in this and then, and it's like, what the hell? Let's see. So this was a creative pitch by him that he didn't want another count out finish, but we're treating it as if like, well, he didn't get his shit, so it was another count.
That's why I can never tell if they're working the commission or working with the commission.
Yeah, I know. And
my theory is with the commission because the commission gets a cut.
Yeah.
And I feel like, the commission are old fogies that are like, this seems a little bit where people are going to raise an eyebrow. All of a sudden, we're putting chicken wire around the ring. People will know what's up.
I think the commission's there to protect the business.
Yeah. Muldoon is there. This isn't how it used to be. So $15,675, $47,000. And yeah, Zuma's never again quite at that level. Let's see. Oh, I wrote very Sopranos here. What do we got here? We got invasions, takeovers, paranoid promoters. It's just, people gossiping. Essentially, basically, how it's working right now in 1960s, everyone is gossiping. Everyone's kind of making little moves. One little move here or there, and somebody's going to go, that this guy's trying to fuck you over. And it's all very catty and one thing could be said. Buddy Rogers is working with Al Haft of Columbus, who's trying to annex Pittsburgh. What do we got? We got McMahon sends out Phil Zacco to Pittsburgh to shore that up. Buddy Rogers is signed to a long-term deal, right, to McMahon. Let's see.
Why does Phil Zacco to me seem like a dog, like off a leash, like just unpredictable, uncontrollable?
I don't know. I know that I don't know, because all I know is that McMahon sends him where he needs to go.
Exactly.
And he gets it done. Buddy Rogers has control of his character. He's not taking any notes. And again, to the Sopranos thing, McMahon sees Roger as an earner, first and foremost. He's an earner.
One of my top earners.
Or as Tony Soprano, one of the first LGBTQ corporations, said when it was found out that he was... see, that's how bad it is tonight.
Vito was taking it up the Hershey Highway, as they say.
Yeah. And so Tony says, maybe you all should be like Vito.
Yeah.
And we could all be making money, because he's one of his top earners. He's endorsing. Back in 1951, after Rogers had broken from Jack Pfeffer. Okay, so there you go. He ended up on the wrong side of Toots. Then he lands with Quinn. And he's bickering with Toots about a payoff. You know, it's Buddy Rogers. You know, he's living the life of a wrestler. He's bickering with promoters about payoffs. He's got some strange relationships. But McMahon goes, look, I've got this plan. And he agrees. He's going to be the United States heavyweight champion for Vincent McMahon. So, Ed Contos suddenly passed away. And this is, I think I started taking note that Tim likes to write, suddenly passed away. And
yeah, we talked about that, I think, last week, too.
Yes. I think I looked it up. I can't remember. But Ed Contos, look, I think he was very old. I don't know if I wrote it in here, but the Ed Contos family decides to continue the business. This is Baltimore. Basically, this is where the McMahons take over Baltimore.
Yeah.
And they do that thing where he kind of goes... Ed Contos Jr. tries to... in Baltimore, goes, look, I'll go with somebody else. Pedro Martinez of Buffalo. But it's not happening. Attendance is bad. Shows aren't great.
Backroom dinners at Sabatino's.
TV hookup is canceled. Martinez has lost $30,000. And so there you go. Contos goes back to the McMahons. Again, maybe we work something out. And McMahon goes, what if I put in ex-referee Harry Smythe? And he runs Baltimore. 1960, Ed Jr. and his mother Alta file a $300,000 federal lawsuit against McMahon, Tootsmont, and Capital Wrestling. The charge is that Capital is illegally trying to monopolize wrestling in that region, was engaged in a conspiracy involving members of the National Wrestling Alliance. And the Department of Justice raises an eyebrow. Here's what's also a concern for Capital Wrestling. In Virginia, William Olivas, Elephant Boy, a.k.a. Elephant Boy, in the 1950s.
Not Fred the Elephant Boy.
He is trying to be an independent promotion. He is told by the Maryland Athletic Commission that he does not qualify for a promoter's license because he had not been a resident for 1 year. It's like trying to run for office. Just to book a wrestler.
Fucking carpetbagger and run a show as soon as you get in town.
Can I book fake fighting? Is it fake? No, it's real.
How long you been here?
How long have you lived here then? Like, what are we doing? Do you just want money or no? Well, you have to make sure it's legitimate. So, finally, after he acquired the, quote, necessary documentation, he's permitted a booker's license in June 1959. So now because he's from Virginia, he's lined up a vast network, Tim says, of small towns in Virginia. He gets a TV deal. Okay. Well, guess what? Bill Lewis, NWA member in Richmond, and Jim Crockett in the Carolinas are going, we don't know about this. Now, remember, in 1956, the government was like, you guys got to stop strong-arming little promoters out, right? But Tim informs us that never really stopped. They went, we will, but they didn't. Over the course of several months in 1959, he received threatening phone calls telling him to get out of Virginia.
These are grown men.
Jim Crockett, perhaps, calling this what was the Elephant Boy.
You need to get out. Yeah.
You need to get out of here.
Get out of Virginia.
Virginia's
You need to go.
Virginia's Crockett territory. You know that, Elephant Boy. Boy, you get out of here.
Go on, get.
This is our town. Leo Voss, a referee for Crockett, menaced Olivas to the point that he actually pulled a knife on him. This old ass referee. Didn't you get that phone call? He's pulling a knife on the guy. The guy he's like, hey, you want to work the show? Yeah, I'll work the show. Pulls a knife on him. Did you get the message? You gotta get out of here. In January 1960, Crockett offered to send grapplers to Olivas if he dropped charges against Voss.
I'll send you a couple of my guys to call it good.
Look, we know that referee pulled a knife on you. We get it. Not great. He's like, yeah, he's saying that we need to get out. Look,
God,
I'll send you some wrestlers if you don't have him go to jail, drop charges. You want some wrestlers?
All this needs to be a drama series.
The freeze out of Olivas, Elephant Boy, was relentless. Lewis made phone calls to the wrestlers working for Bill Lewis. Lewis made phone calls to the wrestlers working for the indie outfit and tried to coax them to either join him or work elsewhere. You don't want to work for Elephant Boy. Anonymous. I feel like these phone calls were not anonymous. I feel like it was such a small circle. He absolutely knew who was calling him. Yeah. How many southern drawls where he's like, I don't know who the fuck is calling him. It's probably Leo Voss. He's pulling a knife. It's also probably him calling him. Chief Little Eagle, popular grappler, says, I'll go on in the TV recording. Tell Carrie that I drank an orange cream ghost today.
That's good.
He canceled one of his appearances for Capitol Wrestling. Said, "This is the faux pas." Said, "I have a personal matter to attend to." He's gonna go, well, that means you're gonna be you're blacklisted. No more Capitol Wrestling for you. But Elephant Boy didn't sit passively and accept all this. Okay, Tim writes. He wrote to the governor of Virginia, James Allman. There's a goddamn monopoly happening in this region. And he even went to the athletic commission and went, I need to speak on this. Details were sent to the antitrust division of the Department of Justice. And Sam Muchnick was notified in early 1960. And so Muchnick goes to Washington, D.C. February 1st and talks to the Department of Justice.
Bob Tide Muchnick.
Mr. Muchnick goes to Washington.
And he says, because of that decree you guys all did to me in 56, memberships dropped from 38 to 23 people. How can we possibly be a monopoly? Membership is dropping. And also, what's going on in Virginia? That's a lot of hearsay.
Wouldn't, by definition, your membership get smaller under a monopoly because you're consolidating competition?
And somebody legitimately asked, wait a minute, hold on. The Department of Justice had evidence. They have interviews with the people involved. This is also the second case now for the NWA. And Muchnick is worried that, look, they're going to call the people that signed that original decree in 56. And then if they go, yeah, actually, we're still doing what we're doing, or they say anything that is outside the bound, it's bad. It's going to be bad. Federal contempt. So he's thinking about Bill Lewis, Jim Crockett, Toots Mondt, who Toots was one of the guys that was like, yeah, sure, I'll sign it. Okay. And also, they're looking at Vincent J. McMahon, Phil Zacco, and Rudy Miller. They did not sign, but were they aware of what the rules are now? I love that Tim has these details. FBI special agents Carlton Broden and Robert Reiser, grandfather of a young Paul Reiser. I don't know that, but you're on mute.
Sorry, you think he made a freedom of information request?
Yes, he made it. Yes, he made an FLIA. Yeah.
It'd be fascinating to read those. It's like, did you ever see that thing about Patterson being named in the Lavender Scare?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's got like bio about him, about the clubs he frequents in San Francisco, and he's a known homosexual, and yeah.
He's a known sexual.
Homosexual, I said.
Oh, homosexual. I thought you said he's a known. He's very active. He's sexually, so he writes down a notepad. Sexually active. So, special agents Carlton Broden and Robert Reiser are tasked to cover Capitol Wrestling.
Do you think this is like the Wolf of Wall Street scene when he goes on the
Absolutely.
boat?
He goes to Turner Arena and he goes.
Vince tries to buy him.
Vince is good. Yeah. So what do you know about this consent decree?
How much money is the FBI paying you?
Now I know you don't have midgets sweeping the bottles. Just like you heard about that. I mean, come on.
I read that you used to be a wrestling fan. Is that right?
I saw you at one of my shows. That was you, right?
Meet the Golden Greek.
Now you stood there, and I swear I saw somebody younger than 17 drinking, and you stood there. You didn't.
Toots is rummaging through the man's car, the FBI agent's car.
Write it down. We're giving gold here. They interview Toots. He goes, he's dumb. He's like, I'm not even really, I'm like, not even like a secretary here. What am I here? He says,
hot dogs. I'm a hot dog guy.
He describes his position as, I'm semi-retired. I'm not even really working.
Where am I working?
McMahon says to the consent. I'm not familiar with that.
I don't recall.
Yeah. And they go, what about Toots? He goes, he's semi-retired. He's in an advisory capacity.
Consigliere.
And I do 99% of my... Remember how, like, Tim had wrote on this book of, like, how it really works? Of, like, he's the president, whatever, da-da-da-da-da.
Well, Toots is the go-between, remember? He talks to the talent. Vince lets him be the bad cop.
And then, but now Vince is saying, 99% of all the business is actually done without consulting Toots. Like
He's a minority
99%.
partner.
Like, I don't even know Toots. So, and Tim reminds us, look, he's legally bound because he signed that consent decree about we will not monopolize wrestling anymore. And so he cannot deny knowledge. He cannot be like, I don't know what you're talking about. So it's best for everyone to go, we don't even know this guy that signed this thing. And he never spoke of it, and we don't get it. Let's see. So, Dr. Jerry Graham.
But wait, I love this though. Toots says to the FBI that the company was furnishing talent to Whitey Carlson in West Hempstead, Long Island.
Yes. He brings up Toots like, how can we? Yeah, I know. How can we be a monopoly? We got Whitey in West Hempstead. We got Willie in Newark. We got Harry Smythe in Baltimore. Don't ask him who he replaced. Dr. Jerry Graham, a wrestler there, spills his beans. That's a Tim quote. Spilled his beans to the FBI and William Elephant Boy's attorney, George Little. They say McMahon's a figurehead.
Hang on, but you miss a huge paragraph.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Okay.
They no longer run the garden.
Yes.
They pulled out of the Manhattan Wrestling Alliance. And
it's
Cola.
Yes. Yeah. Cola Corriani. Charlie Johnston is still hanging in there.
Yep.
And Jack Pfeffer. Yes, Dr. Jerry Graham spills the beans, quote unquote. McMahon is just a figurehead. Toots is the man in charge, which the Department of Justice is going, yes, okay, yes.
Now, you do got to remember Jerry Graham was fucking insane.
Tim doesn't write
Dr. Jerry Graham?
I don't know. All I know is what he's written about him.
Okay, first of all, he's Vince McMahon's Jr., his favorite wrestler. Because Dr. Jerry took a young Vince Jr. out in his Cadillac or something. So, Jerry Graham, weird guy. His mother died. He grabbed a shotgun, went to the hospital, and stole her body.
You got to. I mean, that's your mom.
He spent some time in a facility after that.
Interesting that did Vince Jr., as we'll call him, the Vince we know, does he know that his favorite wrestler was like, look, I'll talk.
But see, I don't know why he's saying Toots is because Toots isn't in charge. I mean, he's
Are
involved.
they trying to make Toots the fall guy?
Yeah, that's what's weird.
Well, look, I mean, to be clear, look, we would know if Tim would tell us.
I know, Tim's got to say, like, why is Jerry Graham saying this?
I think I would just assume that Toots' rep with the wrestlers is not great.
Or it's because he is the one interfacing with the wrestlers, and Jerry Graham's just too stupid to know that there's someone above him.
Well, he called Vince McMahon a figurehead, but he doesn't think that. I mean, that's that thing of like, well, JR hates me. It's always it's the guy, the go-between. That guy never got it.
Right, exactly.
So maybe this is our first instance of everybody's talking to the government. You know who really didn't like me? Toots.
Yep.
So, you never believe this, but then somebody told the government that there was unreported income by Tootsmont. He's been making money managing Antonino Rocca. And he's been gambling. And maybe they should look into that. You know, the guy that already had an IRS thing that was like, I have the perfect solution.
Across the country and change his identity.
This is when Vince... Go ahead.
It could have been the state getting him for back taxes in California.
You think it was the state? Okay, that's fair. That's why he took That's why he went over across the into the concourse to sell hot dogs. I'm just a lowly sausage seller. What do you mean? What taxes could I possibly be withhold? I'm making what? Here, look at my W-2s.
Yeah.
I just sell hot dogs here. What are you talking about? I've been here the entire time.
$1.25.
Look at my records here in the college. It says concession worker since day one.
God, this would be such a good TV show.
Vincent McMahon now realizes this dude's guy. I might need to kind of keep him at arm's length. Maybe he brings bad energy towards me.
You gotta keep me around, Vinny.
But he does it. He does what all McMahons will learn. You don't get rid of the guy. You just keep him at arm's length.
I was just gonna say it feels like Patterson during the 90s.
I wrote, Pat, we have to let you go. Just for a little bit. So, Tim writes that the government looks at Jerry Graham's arrest record, his criminal record, and they go, we can't put this guy up on the stand. He had carried a loaded pistol in his car, and he had been suspended by the New York and Virginia State Athletic Commissions for missing matches. And I wrote, Tim, one of these things is not like the other. Yeah. The government's looking on, he missed matches and
a lot of times when the guys get suspended by the athletic commission for missing matches like that, it's because of promoter.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I think Tim maybe is leaving something out when it comes up. And Gus is right. The Bruno thing. Because they did that to Bruno. And Tim doesn't say that in the book, does he?
No, he says that we never know.
He just says Bruno goes and wrestles for Cola, and that's it.
Yep.
It's like there was more to that.
And I even went to Tim's website to be like, "What? Come on, talk about this suspension and what have you." And he just writes, "Here are all the." It wasn't listed, and he has no. I know a lot of people aren't. Bruno, I don't know when was this book written.
They had me blacklisted.
Who are the people you could go to and be
his
like,
father? I had a problem with his father.
But I do like that Tim writes, the government went, I don't know, he had a gun charge and he also missed dates. We put him up there, they'll be like, he missed dates?
He no-sold for Buddy Rogers at the Garden once. I mean...
I don't know if I can believe this guy. He missed some dates. Oh, and he also was carrying an unlicensed gun. Okay. Dan Parker's back, and he does not like Bruno Sammartino, who's 24 years old.
God.
He writes in the New York Daily Mirror on January 18th, 1960, with the Puerto Rican trade about milk dry, the wrestling brains, and he writes wrestling brains are now about to woo the Italians, who jilted them about 20 years ago by building up a burper of an ordinary ability named Bruno Sammartino, and he misspells his name.
Did he just call him ordinary ability?
Yeah, a burper.
Disrespect.
A burper. A burper.
Wow.
I want to let you know, Dan Parker joined the Daily Mirror in 1924.
I love though that he can he sees the thing of he's like, well, Puerto Rican contingent is blood dry. All right, who's the next ethnicity they're gonna get? Oh, it's the Italians now. Great.
But I'm saying this guy's been around since
he's ancient.
Strangler Lewis. That's what he wants. That's why he thinks Bruno sucks. Yeah,
he just doesn't like anybody that's a little tan.
No, Bruno throws too many punches. Where's the art in it? Where's that, arm wringer where you keep flipping and pulling the guy down?
No. The guy keeps somersaulting. Hey,
all you need is punches in the corner, maybe a Beal throw and a bear hug.
Maybe a couple elbows. then maybe a sidewalk slam. James Cornette, I call you out. A burper of ordinary ability. And I love that he misspells his name into a Superman.
What an
So-
asshole.
But then guess what? I love this. Vince Jr.'s favorite wrestler, Dr. Jerry Graham. April 21st, 1960, to the FBI. I don't know how this came up, but Bruno, he's talking about Bruno Sammartino. Very little ability, completely dominated by promoters. Now, granted, he writes.
You know what it reminds me of? Like, just because you think it's a non sequitur,
Yeah.
that Laura Loomer testimony to the FBI where she's like, Lindsey Graham is gay. And they're like, I'm sorry, what? They're like, we didn't ask you anything about that. She's like, well, I've been told by multiple people he's gay.
That's smart, though. That's the way
Yeah,
to
what-
get it on the record.
Yeah, what was she told by her eyes and ears? Who has seen Lindsey Graham and is like, God damn.
Just
Straight-
swinging bachelor. You just can't find the right woman.
Yeah.
Can't settle
Eligible
down.
bachelor Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham is gayer than the Goldust character. I want to tie this back to wrestling. More people thought that Dustin
Goldust is
Rhodes
just
Goldust
androgynous.
was that
That's
more
what we told
people were
Howard.
like,
He was living an alternative lifestyle.
Goldust had Marlena.
Bizarre.
Where's Lindsey Graham's Marlena?
Honestly,
I asked
that'd be
you.
awesome if he just showed up with a blonde with like just
Yes.
giant knockers.
Yes, bolt-ons. Lindsey Graham, I challenge you. Start showing up to the Senate with a woman with giant knock and be like, she's my girl. Hey, also that would also be a tell when he's like, we're just fucking. We're fucking all the time. You're like, no, you're not. You're not fucking.
Do it.
Do it. Sammartino leaves Capitals roster for Quariani's roster. Did you know? I'm looking up Quariani. Did you know he was a chess master? When I was looking up his suspension, he's on a cover of a chess magazine.
Wow. No.
Well, wrestling is the game of human chess.
Yeah, he's like, I know what you're doing. Yeah, I could not. I was trying to find out what did he get. Does anybody else have anything? But apparently, something happened in chess with him too. Something. I have some theories, maybe, but we'll get to it.
An active player at the Flea House.
Yeah.
Wow, he's in The Killing by Kubrick?
Yeah. He was an actor. Yeah.
I gotta watch that movie. That's been on my list for so long. Oh, and it's him and Sterling Hayden and Kubrick. Oh, now see, that makes sense because Kubrick's a chess guy.
Paul Bowser in Boston and Eddie Quinn. Eddie Quinn seems like a real ass. He's in Montreal and he's like, well, I'm pretty close to a couple of these cities. Just move on in there. Here's something, Colin. Bowser didn't like that Eddie Quinn was linked to mobsters.
Well, Montreal, we know that.
Oh man, they will fucking.
Oh yeah,
shoot you in
Colin.
the
What
back of
happened?
the head?
What happened to Dino Pro?
Execution style over a fucking carton of cigarettes.
Adolfo Bruschesco.
Go into the Discord so I can shame you for your wrong opinions.
And that's just such a brutal way to go.
You're just smoking a cigarette, watching TV, and then somebody
Watching the
just
Canadians
annihilates-
game, I think.
Watch people. Somebody fucking annihilates you. For what?
All over moving
Owing-
cigarettes.
For what? Owing money? Did somebody sit with them and go, have a drink?
You're not
He's
one of our
drinking a
top
soda.
owners, Dino.
Drinking a soda pop?
Numbers aren't looking so good. We gotta talk.
That's the last sweet thing.
Well,
you
he had
overtaste.
married the boss's daughter. Is there
Oh,
an
boy.
analogous thing to that in Sopranos? I guess
Well, I was just
kind of
wondering
like,
with him.
well, or like Ralphie dating Janice, and he still gets killed. So there you go, right?
Don't spoil it for Gus.
I zoned out. We're fine.
But also the scene of him having relations with Janice Not great. Or is that Richie? Which one is where he's behind her shoulder and he's like, and you're like, okay, I don't need to see this.
Well, Richie's is more gross because it's more real. Remember Ralphie? She's pegging him.
Oh,
Or
that's
she's got
right.
a toy. Yeah.
Gus, I'm fine with that spoiler. Don't you want to watch Sopranos? Don't you want to watch it? I was trying to go with that's the last sweet thing you'll ever taste. What
is that line?
That's from when they're with the kid. And then he goes, "You want a soda pop?" And he goes, "Okay." He's drinking the soda. He goes,
that
"You like
sugar-free.
that? You like that? That sugar-free shit. We got to do Guspranos. We've got to do it. We might as well just start up a Patreon where Collins is a $1 subscriber, $1 a month just to hear us watch Sopranos with Gus. So Johnny Doyle, Tony Santos, Eddie Quinn. They got the Boston Garden. Oh, because Bowser passes away. The war kills him. He passes away. And I wrote, by the way, he does not write suddenly. Paul Bowser died of a heart attack. You wrote suddenly earlier when there was a heart attack. Tim. Sorry, Tim, but Paul Bowser died suddenly.
I don't know. Maybe his doctor's like, hey, you got to fucking watch it, pal. And then he just kept bad habits up. And then maybe he left the defibrillator in the car.
This is telling you, Tim, be consistent on the desk. And then this is where Tim does this thing where he's like, out in West Minneapolis. And it's like, oh, here we go. Dennis Stetcher, son of Tony Stetcher, has sold his Minneapolis promotion to Wally Carbo. Remember him from Larry's book, and Vern Gagne in early 1960s.
If you remember, Wally had a huge dick and only dated a classy woman in a Cadillac.
Yes, and Larry's finger. His eyes are going back and forth. You're thinking, how do I kill Wally Carbo? My all-time favorite thread through a book is Larry, anytime he's meeting a beautiful woman, going, how do I kill their significant other? It's like, you're writing this in a book, my man. So, Muchnick writes, hey, Carbo should be considered, even though he, runs it. He's like, let's all vote. He's got to still put it out there. Let's all vote for Carbo. Okay, let's give him serious consideration. Except Carbo and Gagne don't want to join. They don't want to be in the NWA. They're going to make American Wrestling Alliance, and then it'll be the American Wrestling Association, AWA. So, they're going to go... Sam likes the idea. They go, okay, there's another thing here.
Well, but you have to say they still worked with, and they still.
Sam doesn't like that they're going out on their own, and he doesn't have power over them. But he's also thinking, I got this monopoly thing happening again. Oh boy, this helps me. Oh look, there's this thing over here in the Midwest. Sure. But he still has Sam's vision originally is that the NWA they are a monopoly. They are all over the world. It's like it's a mob version of the WWE where there's different people, but they're all paying up. Everyone gets a taste from it all comes up, and then eventually the dues are paid to over the NWA as a whole.
It's not really mob-like, though, because the president's not getting all the money. The money is shared.
Do we know that, though, that Sam Muchnick wasn't pulling out of the treasury? He's the one keeping the books.
No, but the money that went to the NWA was very small from a show. I mean, they got a percentage on every show, but it wasn't,
Okay. Look.
It was more like a fee.
I will go with that. All I would ask.
It's more the
was-
power and the ability to control the talent into your own territory that the presidency gets you.
Also remember that Sam Mushnick also gets a fee from booking the World Heavyweight Champion. He
Yeah.
usually, as the head of NWA, that's what you. I would say let's look at the house he was living in. What was his house? Was it a
I
McMahon
heard he
for that
also has
time?
a vacation house.
Does he have a vacation? Yeah. Is he living higher on the hog than Pinky in Iowa? Right, that was his name, Pinky.
Yeah.
Pinky George?
Pinky George, which will come up again. Prompted. Okay, so Mushnick also doesn't like that. Essentially, they go. What the AWA does is they go, oh, we're challenging for the NWA title, and if he doesn't come to Minnesota in X amount of time, then Vern is the champion, and then he doesn't get booked, and then they go, Vern is the champion, and then now there's a second world heavyweight champion, and Sam's like, oh, I don't like that. This whole idea is that there's one champion, and we all benefit from the one champion making the rounds. But no, they don't go to the AWA. They don't go, hey, stop this nonsense right now. Let's figure it out. And again, it's cyclical. The Midwest is thriving with pro wrestling. Chicago is a shining example. Due to McMahon's TV, Tim writes.
Did you read Cola Coriani's cause of death?
I might have. Say it.
It's pretty nutty. In 1980, he was entering the chess and checker club. He was seriously injured after being assaulted by a group of teenagers. The incident was later described by Samuel Sloan. Quote, Coriani came in the downstairs entrance one evening. About 5 black youths were leaving. They bumped into each other. Words were exchanged. Nick, I don't know, he calls him Nick for some reason. Was that his real name? Oh, Nicholas Coriani. Nick never took any guff from anybody, and soon he was engaged in a fight with all 5 black kids at once.
Oh, he absolutely got his fucking shit rocked.
Nick
we probably know what word he probably said, too.
Nick probably could have handled any 1 or 2 of them, but 5 were too many. He was beaten, taken to a hospital, and died.
Jesus.
Shit, they were stomping his head. They were
Well,
absolutely.
they were probably the Speed Park players, and he's probably a gentleman who likes the long game, chess-wise.
Checkmate, my young
These kids are
fellow.
leaving a chess club. Like, these aren't hoodlums. These are...
Oh, so he's absolutely being horribly racist, possibly. You. And they just sort of like, you know what? By the way, this might have been building up. They've been like, this guy, every time. It was the opposite of what was the Sean Connery movie with Forrester? Was it Forrest something or other? And he goes, "You're the man now, dog." He says that, and it's the opposite of that. It's the opposite of him endorsing. Wow, they really beat the shit out of that guy. He died.
He was 77.
They fucking were probably like throwing chess pieces on him and stuff.
Yeah, Rook Knight 6, motherfucker.
Yeah, just fucking dropping elbows and fucking like. It doesn't say people were arrested. They're just like, well, words were exchanged.
I would love to know those words.
So that means in the chess club, they were like, I mean, he kind of. It was.
Yeah, I probably like this guy's kind of got it coming. Nobody was surprised.
So, everyone is like, man, McMahon is like, he's got Chicago, he's got New York, he books well, he gets the attendance.
I just want to say, because he's kind of losing timeline as he's going, or maybe just focusing more on McMahon.
Yeah.
The NWA champion at this time is Pat O'Connor.
It is. He does bring that up because it is. How do we get Pat O'Connor over to Buddy Rogers becomes the thing. But I do like this. the national wrestling conventions are usually kind of like in cities where you might want to visit, and this one is in Acapulco, Mexico.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what that administrative fee is going for.
Yeah. How do we get to Mexico? From August 26th to 27th, they're going to have a little meeting down in Acapulco, Mexico, which I think I've been. And they're going to invite Vincent J. McMahon. He's going to get voted. You're an NWA member now, brother.
There's a screwdriver by the pool.
McMahon is joined by, who's there? Toots, Muchnick, Kohler, Frank Tunney of Toronto, Leroy McGurk, old blind Leroy McGurk of Tulsa, Jim Crockett of Charlotte, Roy Welch of Nashville, Carlo Sarpolis of Amarillo, and then also Salvador Luteroth Jr. of Mexico City. 14 other members decided not to make the trip. And I'm guessing those are like the Pinky Georges and Orville Browns that were like, Mexico? For what?
Too exotic.
Orville Brown.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, what am I wrong? They bring him up again. They're like, he's not getting Buddy Rogers. So unanimously, he writes, they voted to accept Vincent into the NWA, Vincent McMahon. And I was like, that's not much of a majority. If 14 members of, 28? It's kind of like just barely enough showed up. Like, hey!
Yeah.
So here's when he wanted to join the NWA back then. Look, you're going to pay a $500 initiation fee. You got $100 worth of dues. And you have to apply in like a form. McMahon didn't do any of this. He's just in. And then Mushnick this is now Sam Mushnick. His role is to constantly be pestering Vincent J. McMahon about his dues, his fees, and his paperwork. So when did this happen? August 26th to the 27th, 1960. October 11th of that year, he's going, hey, Vince, still haven't gotten your the $500 in the form. I just want to dot the I's, cross the T's. Still haven't gotten any of that. Mushnick is also at that Mexico convention. Has been NWO president for 10 terms, and he steps down. And now it's going to be a different president every year, and Frank Tunney takes over after Muchnick. Muchnick is named executive secretary, so again, he is the guy that's going to be like, what? He's keeping the books. Let's see. Oh, he wonders. It's what he says here. What Tim says here is that Sam wonders if Vince McMahon was allowed into the NWA because of his friendship with Toots.
Okay.
So, McMahon convinces the organization, look, we're going to declare Buddy Rogers the United States heavyweight champion. And essentially what we have here is, what do we have here? I'm trying to suss out all my notes here. McMahon is setting up a new promotion in Pittsburgh. Okay, this is what's going on. McMahon is going to install Buddy Rogers as U.S. champion. Then he's going to move Buddy Rogers
so it's
as
like
NWA.
A secondary national title.
Yes.
So it'll travel like the world champ.
But he also is going to I like that. Okay, so Tim writes here that finally, on October 17th, 1960, McMahon does submit his application. And he writes in here, he agrees to to abide by all the bylaws, rules, and regulations. And as we've covered in this book, rules are rules until you just break them, because they're actually not rules. They're fake rules made by fake organizations. So who cares? And it's just whoever is the first person to go, what does this fucking matter? Like, what are we doing? And then everybody just goes along if it's making money. Let's see. Okay. Vince McMahon starts Pennsylvania Wrestling Incorporated. It's going to run bi-weekly at the Northside Grotto. Forbes Field during the summer. Toots is going to be the NWA matchmaker and the secretary-treasurer, which eyebrow raised. And McMahon's the company president, Kohler's the vice president. Okay. Then, here we go. November 22nd, 1960. William D. Kilgore Jr., chief of the Judgment Enforcement Section, his subject was a proposed contempt petition in United States versus National Wrestling Alliance, the Iowa Central Division. And here are the people named: Bill Lewis, Jim Crockett, Toots Mondt, and McMahon. Here's what they outline in a 20-page memo. The facts fully indicate that there has been a deliberate violation of the NWA judgment, the original one, by Bill Lewis, Jim Crockett, and Toots Mondt, with the aid and assistance of Vincent J. McMahon, who admittedly had full knowledge of the judgment. The case is not a documentary one and may very be difficult. Nevertheless, if it presented with a moderate degree of skill, I'm confident that a verdict of guilty can be obtained against Bill Lewis and Jim Crockett. The evidence against Toots Mondt and Vincent J. McMahon is somewhat weaker. The industry is not of too great importance or significant. Economically, it is true, but that very willfulness of the violation makes it significant and one that we ought to bring. So basically, they're saying we can crack down on these guys again, these specific people.
But who gives a shit?
But who react? Again, let's read that again. The industry is not of too great importance or significant. Economically, it is true, but that very willfulness of the violation makes it significant. So basically, these guys are really flouting that they're breaking the law. Is it worth our trouble? I guess because of the money that they're making, sure. The recommendations were not heeded by superiors in the antitrust division. And the contempt action was never brought to trial in Des Moines or anywhere else. So there you go. Once again, the wrestling business just gets off because people are like, it's wrestling, right? Who gives a shit?
Yep.
Bill Lewis, his health rapidly deteriorated. He passed away in March of the following year. Not suddenly, correct. 62 in his home. He died. It's fine. So we got the Baltimore lawsuit, Contos. Eventually, a federal judge in D.C. decides that the plaintiffs have failed. The plaintiffs, which was Alta and Contos Jr., failed to prove any intent to monopolize the business by Capital Wrestling. So there you go. The McMahons are winning in court. McMahon is using Toots' intense personality as a battering ram to get into the confidence of Sam Muchnick. Sam and Toots, they go way back. I mean, this seems to be... And then, like, Vince is on the charm offensive. He says, McMahon's vision was clear, but for whatever reason, his peers in the NWA were blind to his grandiose strategy to monopolize the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, speculate, my man. Why were they blind? Like, I want to know more about these crazy characters. And he writes, if not blind, they were either ignorant or incapable of stopping the runaway freight train. This is what Tim does a lot. He lays out all the pieces and then kind of walks away and goes, you are to decide what was going on. You read the letters. You know the correspondence. What was the vibe? Write about it. And my only theory is that it generally seems in all these interactions that money, it's never enough money. Somebody's like, I'm making money, but what if I made a little bit more money? That seems to be the driving factor in all this.
That's the driving factor in everything.
I'm left to speculate. Like, why did Vince? And then as he in this next chapter lays out, Vince isn't like thinking global. He's just thinking, what if I just ran the Northeast Territory all by my lonesome forever?
Yep.
And again, it comes down to, I'm making money. Why am I paying another guy or like giving him money? Summer 1960, Cola Corani, Jack Pfeffer, here we go, Madison Square Garden. They're not getting those big houses that McMahon was getting in Madison Square Garden. They're pushing Pampero Firpa. They're pushing Antonino Rocca and Bruno Sammartino as a tag team. Nothing's happening. Now, here to go again. A controversial situation in White Plains, New York, which I think a Sopranos episode takes close to. September 24th, 1960. Coriani is suspended and fined by the Athletic Commission for, quote, acts detrimental to the best interests of wrestling, unquote. It's not disclosed to the public.
And this is weird. Why even bring this up?
Sammartino is also chastised for his actions and fined $100.
But we don't know.
What possibly could they have done? I don't know. They were what? They were seen like eating at a diner? What was at that point detrimental to suspend one of your core guys? He's a made guy in that organization. Detrimental to the business. Did he speak to the government? Like, what did he do?
See, this isn't even the blackballing Bruno talks about.
Mm-mm. He's really young here.
Have you heard that? No. That
No,
one
I know.
happened this time, though.
It happened around. Well, this is because
He went to New York once, and Vince Senior claimed Bruno no-showed, and Bruno said I wasn't even booked, and his license got pulled, and he had to go work for Coriani.
I think he kind of hints at this. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
A couple pages. So Coriani
Unless
apologized.
that happens later on, but I don't think so, because 63 Bruno wins the title.
No. This all happens about like 61.
Yeah.
Coriani apologizes and promises to never step outside the bounds again, which is like, what are you talking about? It's just like a Jack Pfeffer thing. Well, then why wasn't he ever ostracized? This is that thing again. Like, who does it apply to? If he said something to somebody or they didn't like something he said where he's stepping outside the lines of the business or revealed something about the business they didn't like, then why doesn't that apply to Pfeffer, who went to decades earlier, had gone to the paper and been like, it's all fake.
It's on this next fucking page. I'm sorry. I don't know why I missed that.
No, it's okay.
The Cow Palace thing.
So, people are looking at Pfeffer as attendance is falling, right? Goes from 16,000 to 10,000. He even goes, hey, look, Antonio Rocca and Miguel Perez reunion. Nope, nobody cares. Rocca's wrestling Sammartino. They're trying to do that. It's a passing of nothing, 12,000. Which, again, speaks to how things are presented. Like, Pfeffer, whose thing is, I've got a bunch of freaks. You like that? He's booking Rocca and Sammartino and nothing. Nobody gives a shit. And then Sammartino is one of the biggest draws, for that territory. Shareholders in the Madison Square Garden Corporation, they're going, we don't like this. We're not making money. So they cancel the December 12th, 1960 program. Vincent J. McMahon, they bring him in. Hey, bud, you know what's up. Hey, brother. He rebooks it. And it gets 11,612 fans. Okay, fair. Short notice, right? There's also bad weather. So, okay. McMahon is featuring the Fabulous Kangaroos, Johnny Valentine, Bearcat Wright, Buddy Rogers, the U.S. champion, and Pat O'Connor, the world champion. Within 2 months, guess what? He's back at that 20,000. He's pulling them in. It's February 27th, 1961. So, the Department of Justice probe is done. Coriani is out because he's suspended. Martinez is out. Pfeffer is out. So now it is. He's survived. He is now the guy at the Garden and the guy in Chicago. Now, San Martino, yes, fulfills a booking that he had agreed to in San Francisco on March 4th, 1961 for Roy Shire's initial event, the first event at the Cow Palace. 16,553. By the way, I did write, okay, so go back here. When Tim writes, McMahon had not only won the wrestling war, but survived the government inquest. I wrote Times Flat Circle once again. This pisses McMahon off about the San Martino, a young San Martino going to wrestle in San Francisco to make a date. And this also will continue with the McMahons going, you got dates? What if you don't make those dates and you're wrestling for me? You are on my roster, are you not? He had Bruno booked.
Yeah, why does the commission suspend him?
Bruno's supposed to be in Baltimore. That's where Vincent wants him.
That's where Vince wants him. He's not supposed to be there. He can go wherever the fuck he wants.
I'm an independent contractor.
It doesn't say he agreed.
What did Kevin Nash used to say?
I didn't agree to nothing.
99.
Yeah,
99.
Where does it say?
No, but it doesn't say Bruno agreed to be there.
Yes, he wanted Bruno. Yes. Vincent says, I have you booked in Baltimore. Basically, what you have Bruno saying is, I said that I would be in for Roy Shire. I told Roy Shire I'd be here. And also, I don't know what the Baltimore gate would have been or the attendance. Tim doesn't put that in, or what that show. Tim, you should have put that in. But it's 16,000, which Tim kind of alludes. That's the biggest crowd Bruno's wrestled for. I mean, or at least a very large crowd for this young Italian man.
Yeah.
The Maryland Athletic.
David.
Spaghetti's not in this economy. The Maryland Athletic Commission suspends Bruno. And then hey, look, it's not a monopoly. The NWA places a nationwide ban on him for any member states, which are, at least 28 states at that time. If he has 28 members, and it's his idea of it's a member in every state.
Yep.
So this is 2 years into Bruno's career, and he's being blacklisted and suspended. And Tim says he was getting some heat. He was on his way. He's getting there. Granted, he just wrote that him working with one of the top draws of the day didn't draw much in New York. 2 Italians, but he's on his way. This is where I kind of started raising an eyebrow about Bruno, where it's like, okay, so a young up and comer against a established guy didn't really draw. He can't really draw in the Midwest either. I don't think it was. Was he just one city guy?
How many times you saw the Garden out?
Okay, he sold the car. It's like that thing. I was like, okay, but
Big in Toronto as well.
Was it?
He was big in Toronto as well.
Thank you, Larry.
Who had sold more tickets, Bruno Sammartino or John Moxley?
Bruno.
Yeah, easy.
Okay.
The hard camera was filled at Bruno's matches.
Yeah, Bruno's in the Great Lakes in the Midwest. That's where Tim Rich is right. Capital M, Midwest. Great Lakes in the Midwest.
Working Flint, Michigan.
And he writes that Bruno is like, maybe I shouldn't even be a wrestler. Like, what the fuck? Like 2 years in, you're like, I guess nobody wants me. But then McMahon is working in the background. Why don't we lift the ban? He works with the Maryland Commission. Let's lift that ban. And then sure enough, the NWA lifts their ban. And now, hey, let's get that O'Connor belt onto Rogers. And Tim writes, this is going to be a showman rather than a shooter. And I went, didn't we do this? He says, this is a first. I was like, didn't we do this a couple times where somebody that wasn't quite a shooter? I know they weren't a showman, but it was kind of presented like, well, they're not like, they might get rolled up. I think what he's trying to say is this is going to be the first guy that's like a pro wrestler,
Yes.
as opposed to a guy that's like, I don't know, how would you describe Daniel Mahoney? He could maybe handle himself, but if like Strangler Lewis wanted to choke him out, he could. It's kind of that level. Now this is actually like a full-fledged guy that's like, what are we doing? He's the first Bret. Buddy Rogers is the first Bret Hart of, hey, it's supposed to be fake, man. What are we doing? We're supposed to go home with just some bruises.
Yeah.
Let's see. So now the NWA divides. There's people that are like, no, NWA should be shooters, and like people that are legit. And then there's Fred Kohler, Vincent McMahon, and Sam Mushnick. They're like, well, this guy is making the most money, so let's go with this guy. Right? Business-minded. Which is crazy for me. I'm not well-versed in this history. Sam Mushnick, who creates the NWA, essentially also dooms it to its like kind of like southern, it's real wrestling. Like by going with this, eventually he leads the domino. It's like Sam Mushnick pushing the big domino of like, I also agree with Buddy Rogers. And then it comes down to like a little domino meme of like Billy Corgan owns the NWA.
Sure.
Like there's that thing of like he kind of keeps going along with Vince to the point that it's like, do you know what you're doing right now? You will be relegated to TBS and like regional promotions now because of this. So, and what's Tim makes note of is in New York, again, he's brought it up previously, titles don't really matter in New York because the athletic commission. I know at this point Muldoon is dead, but it's like, I can't remember, but it's like, they're like, they don't recognize titles because it's not real or what are the so, but Vince McMahon still has the thing of like, I need to have a title on my guy. He goes, they know, they're keeping up. They're smart marks. They're keeping up on things. In Chicago, June 30th, 1961, 38,000 people at Comiskey Park. Okay?
Goddamn right.
O'Connor, Rogers. Buddy Rogers wins. $125,000. You want to do the inflation on that, Larry? $125,000 in 1961.
Sure.
I'm going 1.5 mil.
125?
$125,000 in 1961.
Yeah, 61. $1.3 million.
Okay, I was off by 200,000. Not bad.
So that's what they pulled in on that. Okay, and everyone's getting a taste. Rogers, by the way, he said Rogers wins in 3 falls. I'm going, still doing that thing. The championship bout is in 3 falls. Fucking hell.
Which means that tickets were the equivalent of $33 compared to WrestleMania.
Now you can't even get yet. What would you can't even get a
nothing on Mania.
You couldn't even get a nosebleed at a regular taping for $33. I pay what, 40 at least? You know, I think I pay 60 at least for a ticket. You're paying 60 for.
Nothing on Mania is going to be better than that Rogers O'Connor match.
What, you don't want to see Sami Zayn finally get his moment?
I had already forgotten about that.
Vince Russo doesn't. Vince Russo is fucking yelling up at Amy up at stairs. He did it. His favorite wrestler, bro. He can't stop. This guy's gonna be world champion. He's gonna make me quit watching wrestling. What is Vince Russo? Oh boy, maybe we should start. Maybe for our 100th, we get Vince Russo on.
We've already
So we can just say,
100.
oh shit,
We're at 125.
200. Okay, 200.
Or we could
150?
just read Forgiven. One man.
That would explain why he hates Sami Zayn so much.
Ooh, there you go.
Why do you hate Sami Zayn? Bro, listen to me.
Do you remember 9/11?
Pride.
So many people have read. Okay, 9/11. You said 9/11.
I think John Rocker was onto something.
Who can he beat up in a fight? Vince, he could beat you up in a fight. Are you kidding me right now?
Russo's huge, kind of a tall guy.
Yeah, he
Remember,
is.
He made AJ look kind of silly next to him.
Has Vince Russo seen the Sami Zayn Blackest Man in Nebraska YouTube video? Would he like him then?
Yeah.
I get him. Okay. I see where he's coming from. Willie Gilzenberg, remember him? In Newark, he writes to Jack Pfeffer on July 4th. I just spoke to Vince, and they are Freddie, Toots, and Vince. Also, the Fiddler, Ray Fabiani. By the way, that's a horrible name, right? The Fiddler.
Oh,
why are we calling Ray Fabiani the Fiddler?
That's a terrible nickname.
No, it's not the Diddler, and I don't
It's
think he
damn close.
fiddled.
It may as well be though.
I know he's not he's not working a fiddle or anything. Like, why are we calling him the Fiddler? In what was it? Ray Fabiani was in Philadelphia. Why are we calling Ray Fabiani the Fiddler?
Well, he could play people like a fiddle. He's a
That's a very generous. That's a very kind. I just spoke to Vince, and they are. And he refers to Fred Toots and Vince, and also the Fiddler are still counting the bundles. By the way, I wrote. This is finally this is the first correspondence that he just puts in the thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking finally, this is what I want. And we get that. We get Ray Fabiani. He's talking about Ray Fabiani. He calls him the Fiddler. And it's like, what? Willie Gilzenberg says, also, still counting the bundles from the last Chicago show. I bet Buddy Rogers, he misspells Buddy. I bet Buddy Rogers will love strutting around the country as world's heavyweight wrestling champion. And Tim writes, Rogers did love it. But so did the fans. And it talks about how big of a wrestler he was. Wrestler of the Year by Ring Magazine, 1961 and 62. And they have a rematch at Comiskey Park, $63,000. So what was that? About half. So about 500,000. So about 500,000. In years past, look, NWA World Champion. If everyone's going to see him like they are Buddy Rogers, that means the organization is making money. They're making money. The organization is making money. Except that Rogers only seemed to be touring the Northeast Territory. He would go to Chicago, Philadelphia, Houston, St. Louis. Except those smaller territories with due paying members. They're paying $100 a month. They paid their $500. They're not getting Buddy Rogers. And the thinking is, why would Buddy Rogers go to a high school in Kansas City when he can go to a big city in a major arena and make money? Like, what's the gain of going to that the gym, the smoke-filled bingo hall?
Yep.
And then the NWA says because they're paying their dues, so that's why. You have to do the Luthez circuit where you go everywhere and you're crying about it. That makes Orville Brown say, I'm just as big as Madison Square Garden. Look, I've got the world champion. So, Rogers, though, and Vincent J. McMahon are thinking, what if we just make it so you do the circuit and you're like, you hit those major cities and you're doing like a little loop and you're like, it makes sense. And Buddy Rogers is thinking, yeah, that saves me money on traveling because I'm like going boom, boom, boom. Here we go. They're basically forming the modern wrestling where it's like, doesn't it make sense if you hit these major cities within short distances of each other and you're not driving to fucking Orville Brown's territory? Or, you know what I mean? You're not traveling over there and then you're making zero money. Here's NWA's constitution. The world champion does not belong to a single promoter. He belongs to the NWA. Don't you get it? And Sam Mushnick is liking the money that Buddy Rogers is bringing in from the major cities. However, there's another lawsuit. It's a civil suit. Harold C. Sonny Myers versus P.L. George in Iowa.
Pinky.
And the NWA. And it is, I looked it up, and you can look it up. It's another wrestler suing them for going, I was blacklisted. They are not booking me. The NWA needed money for the legal funds. And he thinks, Tim speculates, it's rare, but he does in this one. He speculates, hey, I think that he agreed to the Buddy Rogers things because of the money, and they needed money for the lawsuits. He's trying to suss out. So why Sam Mushnick? He is the NWA. He broke away from his boy. Who was the original guy from St. Louis?
Ooh, I don't know.
I can't remember now. Well, Sam Mush, his mentor, he broke away. He formed the NWA. He had this vision of the NWA. The original guy that was the National Wrestling Association, not the National Wrestling Alliance. He's saying, why is he overlooking McMahon? Why? Is it Buddy's drawing power? Other members are going, this is not right. We should not be doing this.
Well, Sam's overlooking it because he's still booking the champion. Remember?
That's not how I read it. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Vincent McMahon is booking Buddy Rogers.
But since now he's the NWA champion, doesn't Sam get a cut? Remember, Sam books the NWA champion. Remember, he kept that.
I would counter this. It sounds like Sam's not getting a cut of anything because no fees are going to him. It kind of we might get to it. We might suss this out. So now the NWA is getting split between promoters that are not getting Buddy Rogers and going, why are you bending over backwards for Vince McMahon and Buddy Rogers, and other people in larger cities going, this is great, we're making money. Other promoters are giving up dates. Like, hey, we'll give up dates for you. Yeah, you need to be over there, not here. Okay. As long, it's helping the NWA, right? Also, they agree. This is funny that he puts this in here. Okay, so look, this is how it broke down. 15% of each house is going to the NWA. Correct? Is that how I'm reading it?
Okay.
The title holder receives 11%. There's also administrative fees to the NWA. Basically, so 50% of each house is this is what they have to work with, correct? The house is drawn, so say you make whatever that $165,000. 15% of it now is, let's divide that up. 11% goes to the Alliance. And it says Rogers paid.
No. The title holder gets 11%.
Oh, title. Sorry, I misread
But
that.
the Alliance is only getting 4%.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yes, and Rogers is raised to 11.25% of that. Okay, you're right. Yes, I was misreading it. 11% of that 15% goes to the title holder. The rest goes to the NWA. We also, though, read too that they are taking, the promoters themselves of that are taking a cut of this. They're all paying each other. Like the manager of the wrestler takes a cut of his, I'm guessing what, 11% or whatever, of whatever the wrestler's making. The guy booking him is taking a cut.
The guy booking who?
The wrestler. They're taking a cut.
Which wrestler?
Of anybody. So it's like Eddie
champion,
or whoever's booking. But all wrestlers had a manager. Somebody was booking them. They're taking a taste, then they kick up of like whatever, they're drawing. I don't know. It's getting good. We talked about this in previous. There's so many middlemen in wrestling at this point. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What you're then supposed to do is pay NWA. The local promoter would then pay the wrestler and then mail the NWA check to Mushnick. Vince is not doing that. Okay? Now we talk about Mushnick as the middleman. Okay, he's the executive secretary. He's not in charge anymore. Rogers is appearing in cities, okay, but they're not getting their fee from Capital Wrestling. He's writing letters to McMahon. He's writing to he writes, Washington, D.C. is the only office that's always behind in the NWA fees. So Vince is even sending like the $100 a month.
A year.
He writes, Capital Wrestling was still playing by its own rules. By mid-August 1961, 12 payments were late. So Mushnick tried to do the old, well, he can't wrestle in certain towns until you pay up. Later he says, Rogers says that you're making him work tag team matches, and he doesn't think you should be working tag team matches because what does he write? Quote, no champion before has been in tag matches, and I must agree that this certainly does not dignify the title. Guess what Vince keeps doing in Madison Square Garden? You're going to be working Bob Orton tag teams against, Johnny Barron and other pairs of heroes.
He tagged with Barron.
Or so yes, and then look, this is a tried and true WWE thing.
The fabulous Kangaroos.
What if we have the two faces of the tag team, and it's fun, right? I like that Buddy Rogers reached out to Sam. Should I be doing this? I'm the champion, right? And he just writes, Sam and Vince all, they're opposed. He says like a month, every month, Sam is writing a letter of like, I don't know if this should be happening. And yet, always, Sam is bending the knee. Sam's like, okay, I guess it is. Sam is writing, let's get after Phil Zacco. Remember him? He's the secretary for Vince, his right-hand man. Can he get us the money? Interestingly, he was collaborating with Ed Contos in Baltimore Did he have anything to do with the Ed Cantos death? Interesting. Allegedly. So that going to Sam and going, I'm trying my best to get you that money. Sam is worried that the alliance is going to... Oh, we've lost Larry. Let's see. Sam is health concerns. So look, Vince on October 24th, 1961, writes Sam and goes, look, I'm out of the NWA. Okay? Effective immediately. Sam writes him until October 7th, 27th. I don't know if I like that you're resigning. Remember, Buddy Rogers is the world champion.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince writes back, I've severed all relations with the organization. And I also, Sam, your health problems, I wish you a speedy recovery. Thank you. Well, Larry's back.
Snack.
What we covered is that, so this animosity between Sam and Vince, right? They're kind of going back and forth. Finally, Vince just writes, I'm not in the NWA anymore, effective immediately. And then Sam goes, are you sure? And Vince writes back, yes, I'm sure. And then Sam kind of goes, well, Vince, this is where we left off. Vince goes, and also, I hear you're having health problems. Best of luck. But then, Buddy Rogers gets injured. And Mushnick, he kind of seizes this opportunity. He goes, I think you might want to be in the NWA. And Vince, with Buddy Rogers being injured, goes, actually, I would like to be in the NWA.
Send me that application again.
Yeah. And they meet in Columbus, Ohio, on January 3rd of 1962. They're going to work out all their issues. Mushnick is like, look, man, I keep compromising. The NWA needs the champion. We need the money coming in from the heavyweight champion. That's where we make our money. Okay? And then Vince holds the champion. So you're late on payments, etc., etc. He says checks were weeks and in some instances months late. Toots is running Pittsburgh, and he is 4 months behind on a payment for one appearance in October. This is where I write. Okay, so he goes, and by May of 1962, nearly 15 checks were late. And Mushnick writes to Vincent J. McMahon that the NWA's finances are, quote, low. And I wrote, what does it matter to Vince? Right? What does it matter to him? This is a no-win situation for Sam Mushnick. The whole premise is, you're in this group with me, you're sending me money. If Vince is making money hand over fist with Buddy Rogers, why would he ever give some to you?
Yeah.
Because you're asking for it? Because of some fake organization you made in St. Louis 100 years ago to have been like, what the fuck does it fucking matter? So then Mushnick tries again. Rogers can't appear in certain places until tardy fees are paid.
You gonna get him on interest too?
I know, right? He writes, Mushnick writes, this is the first time in 13 years that the Alliance champion were getting, and the promoters of the champion were getting away with not paying the organization. It's like, well, I guess if I'm Vince, I'm going, well, I guess everybody else were suckers. They were just buying into some bullshit. But now here, By the way, this is again a little like footnote in the NWA here. Buddy Rogers doesn't really draw in the rural areas. Some of those members of we don't even want Buddy Rogers. He's not even a draw here. Nobody gives a shit. They want the real Graps. Okay? Larry's eating. What are you eating?
Brownies.
Okay. Looks good. What? Vanilla? Chocolate?
It's chocolate. Aldi.
A vanilla brownie? I've never heard of a vanilla brownie.
You never know. You know what? Now I'm gonna make a fucking tray of that shit.
All right, have at it.
I'm gonna PO box you some. I'm gonna send you some baked goods.
It'll kill you. It has flour in it.
First of all, I make all my baked goods with gluten free, and you know what I do? I put pudding in pudding mixes to make them moist. Okay, so it's all good. People love my baked goods.
Tried that.
No. My baked goods are great. Don't rub it near my eyes are so squinted right now. Everybody loves my baked goods because I fucking put pudding and fucking cake mixes in that fucking. You love my shit. McMahon, this is a great sentence. McMahon still wasn't being held accountable for the problems. So, how unaccountable is he? He's elected vice president in St. Louis on August 26, 1962. That's how much. Look, it's one of those things. Are the big cities making money? The Yays have it. Look, this guy's vice president now. And this guy doesn't even really want to be in the He's like, what if I'm not here? And they're like, not only are you here, you're kind of in charge now.
God.
Fred Kohler's not president anymore. He was the president at the time. Now it's Carl Sarpolis of Amarillo.
Amarillo.
Yes. Did I say Amarillo?
You did.
Amarillo.
I meant Amarillo.
Armadillo.
Armadillo. That's right. You know, he is a partner of who is it again? Dory Funk Sr. And
That
this goes
bald
back
guy?
to that.
He's bald, man.
That goes back to there is a contingent that's like, Buddy Rogers don't even draw here. He got hair. Okay. Well, now what's Gus eating?
I got a Swiss roll.
Okay. What is that when Claudio pins somebody?
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna hit the Gewurz air horn on the production.
Cut to here we go. Rogers is in Columbus at the Fairgrounds Coliseum. He gets confronted by Bill Miller and Carl Gotch. We're in August 31st, 1962. They're part of a booking outfit running independently with, remember Los Angeles Johnny Doyle? He's still around. And who's Doyle partnered with? Jim Barnett. They've got quite a little independent circuit, and they go up to Buddy Rogers. And they're just kind of doing what you doing around these parts here? They're running Detroit. They're running Denver. They're running Los Angeles. They're putting money everywhere.
Got money on the streets.
Tim writes, Kansas City to Atlanta. They're making a go of it. Now, what's their goal? To be inducted. They want to be in the NWA. They're like, look how big. Hey, look at us. Bring us in.
But I don't understand how they're running all these cities. Where would if they're admitted to the NWA, what would they?
Maybe it's a power play
like that.
Maybe it's a power play being like you know how they put Harry Smythe in. Well, now they'll just run the cities. Maybe some kind of long. This is what I'm saying. These guys are always moving and shaking. Like, what What if
At least get a
Andy-
settlement. Like, okay, you'll get one city, and that's better than what you started
or
with.
or Johnny Doyle goes, what if I run Los Angeles and Carl Gotch runs this,
Yeah, San Bernardino.
So, let's see. Kohler named a membership committee. And it's just very small. Oh, well, Fred Kohler's going, wait a minute. I don't like this. McMahon and Mond also don't like this. They're trying to get into Detroit. They're also trying to move into these cities. Then you got Al Haft, still in 1962, running Columbus. Larry, you got to find some Al Haft family members and go, what's up with Al? So basically, Miller and Gotch beat the shit out of Buddy Rogers, I guess, essentially. Words deteriorated into violence. Rogers was bruised and battered. Now McMahon's going, great. Now I'm sending him out to these towns, and some fucking shooters or some fucking old fogies are fucking beating him up. Fucking great. Now I gotta go to fucking quote unquote safe towns.
It's not a chess convention.
He's like,
Want to hear
okay,
a Buddy Rogers fight story though? It's pretty nutty.
Sure.
It's kind of like it's the opposite of the Coriani one.
You gotta go outside,
So-
bud.
In 1989, Rogers was eating a turkey sandwich at a hoagie shop in Florida.
nice. Fuck yeah,
When
Italian
a man in his late 20s began verbally abusing two female employees, Rogers told the man to stop shouting, but the man called him old and challenged him to a fight.
Fuck.
Rogers proceeded to push the man into a wall, leading to the man throwing a chair at him. Rogers fought back and threw the man 5 feet into a refrigerator. Rogers then hit him in the stomach, knocking him into the kitchen. He then held on to Rogers' hair repeatedly, telling him to stop, fleeing the shop afterwards. Rogers, who received 14 stitches, stated to a reporter that the man calling him old was the worst part of the incident, saying, "I'm only 68."
Dude, I knew the minute, like, look, if you're Buddy Rod, it's the thing that people always talk about where you look in the mirror and you're like, I'm that guy. I'm the guy I've always been.
It's Tony
Even-
after
no
the
matter-
shooting. He beats up the young muscle guy.
I know. I was back to Sopranos. I've got to prove it. Dude, look, I've talked to my therapist about this, where one time I was in a bar and I looked and I was like, holy shit, I am older looking than everybody fucking here. It took me a minute of like, oh, everybody's so fresh faced in this bar right now. But look, if you're eating an Italian sub and some guy's like, you're old, and you're Buddy Rogers at that point, you're 68, you're so old, and you're like, fuck this guy.
Somebody's getting fucked up, yeah.
There's that thing that you just get pulled inside of you of like, but great, this guy's like, stop it, like as he's like shoving him into a door. Stop it.
You wanna go outside?
So Buddy Rogers is he's injured, and now the other segment of the NWA is like, oh, he's faking his injuries. He's not a real fighter. He doesn't want to drop the belt. Remember, they want him to drop the belt to a shooter. Then he does. Buddy Rogers fractures his ankle. Jumping from the apron to the floor, which that's some shitty ankles right there.
Adam
That's
Cole.
what happened basically to Adam Cole.
Or current day Buddy Rogers, Adam Cole.
No. Yeah, remember the time Buddy Rogers dressed up in a Halo cosplay?
Yes, I do. He was sitting in a sandwich shop. You know who his opponent was when he breaks his ankle? Killer Kowalski, future trainer of Paul Levesque.
Yeah, get your fucking intakes over here.
What if you're a wrestler that just screams? Ah! So Sam has not learned his lesson. What if our champion is Lou Thez? He's so fucking old now. What are we doing?
46.
He's so old for this time. And they're like, that's the ticket. Lou Thez will take it off of Buddy Rogers. It's going to be at Morris Siegel's Christmas show.
Siegel.
They can't. He says that McMahon goes, well, he can't. He's injured. What if we book Kowalski as the claimant? And NWA's like, no, bro, no. Now it's Vince McMahon on the back foot. He's like, Rogers, the loss of Rogers. He's injured. He's fucking me up. I'm not drawing shit. I'm not making money. Now, remember, when there's a champion in NWA, you have to pay whatever for the title to be a champion. You're giving a deposit. So they've paid $10,000 to the NWA. Vince goes, hey, can I have half of that back? He's injured, right, my man? And Mushnick gives him it back, even going, quote, using very poor business judgment. Sometimes you use bad business judgment to do friends a favor. I was like, are the McMahons the luckiest family in the world? Like, if Sam Mushnick had just right then and there been like, no, bro, no. Yep. It all changes.
I don't know. I guess we learned this during the pandemic when all the airlines just like went bankrupt immediately. But like, they don't have any cash on hand. Like, Buddy Rogers breaks his ankle and they're just in a fucking ruin already. Like,
I know. He's going, can I have $5,000 of that $10,000 I gave you? He's like, he was making millions. What's happening? What's going on? Well, Vince is like, I just bought a house. So they're going, okay, look, I'll give you this, but Rogers has to do the job to Thez. Now, unbeknownst to anybody, and what we find out later is that Vince McMahon is thinking, remember what Vern did? Where he goes, hey, actually I have my own world title. He's thinking, I'm going to do that. Because he's realized, oh my God, I know I'm acting bereft, but the Northeast Territory is actually quite profitable. I could just live off of this. So he knows that also Buddy Rogers is a huge draw. I have to make Buddy Rogers key in this. So he thinks he's going to do what Vern does, where, like what Larry's saying, he'll work with them, but he's going to not be a part of them. That's his overall goal. In 1963, Vince sets up a new promotion in Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio is it's almost damn near as important as Nebraska's been to the the building blocks of the wrestlers. And he's going to Larry Atkins in with Mont as Booker, and they're going to call it Buckeye Sports Enterprises. You better believe it. And this is where the Worldwide Wrestling Association first crops up, okay? And he's thinking, well, that's just going to be what I call the organization that has the roster, and they're going to go around from Detroit to Cleveland to Pittsburgh to New York, okay? And then on January 24th, 1963, McMahon and Mushnick agree on the title switch in Toronto. They'll both be there in person. And they have the belt deposit. It's $10,000. McMahon had already received half. 4 days after the bout, he gives them the other half. Because after 14 minutes, 14 minutes. Imagine after sitting, you're an old man now. It's 1962. 30 years ago, you sat through 3 hours, and a guy gets drop kicked, and you go, there you go. That's the highlight. And now 14 minutes and 54 seconds of cooperative wrestling, as Tim writes it. You watch Thez beat Rogers, and you're like, I saw Lou Thez wrestle for 2 hours, 14 minutes? The fuck is this? Also, Thez also wins a rematch, 2 out of 3 falls, 11,000, Maple Leaf Gardens. And here we begin. Vincent J. McMahon goes, Buddy Rogers is still champion. It was not a 3 falls match, that first match. And also, you never saw that 3 falls match that happened at the Maple Leaf Gardens, so don't worry about it. And Tim writes, even though Tim has also expressed that Vincent J. McMahon knows that the New York crowd are smart and know about other things that are happening in the wrestling world, he now writes, and I'm sorry, Tim, now writes, who's going to check? It's not the internet. It's not the dirt sheets. Nobody would know that he lost a 3-fall match in Toronto.
The sports writers might have mentioned it.
That's what I'm saying. Like he says a chapter or earlier in this very chat, they are smart to it.
Yeah.
They know this. He has to play to that. They know who the world champion is. So they wouldn't know that he lost a match, or at least would eventually find out. And I also did write, a modern fan would be like reading a newspaper about him losing that second match and going, why do I have to know this? You're ruining this for me. Why are you telling me this? I don't want to know anything. You're ruining it. So here we go. It's essentially what he's saying. He goes through what Vern did in the AWA. Look, Pat O'Connor, you come here in 60 days against Vern, or he's the new champion. Pat O'Connor doesn't come. So McMahon does the same thing, essentially. Tim writes, I like this. Mushnick was still in the mud. He's trying to get those debts from Capital. He writes in 1963. We're now in 1963. This has been happening for like 2 years. He hadn't received, quote, 1 cent for Buddy since he returned to wrestling a month before. I've kept my end of the bargain. When's your... and also, by the way, I hope to do business with you for many years to come. What's the riz on Vincent J. McMahon right now? That we saw no riz in that little clip you played earlier.
We did.
You did? I was like,
Jesse says he had a ton of riz, and that you'd go in pissed at him, and you'd leave the room saying, "Son of a bitch!" Like I thought I was mad at him.
I was looking at it from a movie standpoint, where Ed Asner is like, "I'm talking to you, and you're just reciting the lines. Yeah. You're just saying." So I'm saying he's very wooden, but that's probably him being. I'm being filmed. This is a different role for me. Maybe on a 1-to-1 level, he's very likable. You want to have a drink with the guy. When I'm seeing Ed Asner's probably thinking, God damn it, they're surrounding me with amateurs right now.
Yeah.
So, wrestling writers clued in, confused by Buddy Rogers being heralded as champion. And Tim writes, look, it wasn't a big thing. It's said that all of a sudden the WWF was a thing. It's not like that. It just all of a sudden Vince just made a move, and April 18th, 1963, Ray Morgan reports it on Washington TV. In printed material, it shows up in May. Like, it just all of a sudden it's there. It's not a one day awesome boom. It's like mentioned on TV. Then later it's in printed material. By April 1963, it's the WWF with Buddy Rogers as the world champion. And from there, we're going to skyrocket to 1984, right? Something like that.
When Hulk Hogan sees Vince McMahon Sr. take a piss,
right?
He knows that he has prostate cancer.
Right? Yeah, I remember that. He comes up behind and goes, "Brother, it's blood. You've got cancer." I remember that. What a!
I gotta go
psycho.
tell Vince Jr.
What a fucking psycho. So, Larry, have you decided on your book?
No.
Oh, do you want to tell Gus right now? Get Gus's feedback on the book. You've thrown out a few. See what Gus vibe out, Gus.
I have no
'Cause I told
idea.
you- I think Gus would agree. There's no wrong answer. Really.
I know. I'm
I got-
thinking about Kern Part 2, but it's not like a past the 50% leaning.
Yeah.
But it's a high option. Be a good pick for the Democratic candidate. You know what I mean? Kind of a no one can really argue against him. Just Tom Hankins' book, that weirdo who was on Donahue and writes about the mafia.
What's the book
Ooh.
title called?
The
I
mob, the music, and the mat.
The Mob, the Music, and the Mat. Look, I'm not gonna lie. That was the most that tinkled me, where I was like, looking at the cover, I'm like, oh yeah.
That guy looks like he's seen some stuff too.
Give me the Mob, the Music, and the Mat. Oh yeah, give it to me.
There is something kind of fun about just stories by like
Like
average schmucks.
He's never made it, never will. What's his gripe?
Yeah.
And also the Mob? And the music?
I don't know. What were the other ones I was talking about?
You've brought up Dusty Rhodes' book. I don't know if that's you also have brought up Killed
No.
Crosses.
What?
I'm just bringing up books you've said you wanted to do. Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty's? I never said Dusty's.
You've said
book.
fucking Colin, back me up.
Never
you've
in
brought
my
up-
life.
Oh.
That's not even that's a terrible book.
Oh, no. I know it's a terrible. You said we should do it. I mean,
I don't recall
Have I-
that. We could
have
read
I ever-
Kayfabe by
have I
Sean
ever
Oliver.
We could do that. We will. I am definitely at some point going to pick a Sean Oliver fiction book again. We are going back to the Oliver universe. That's a promise.
Bad to Good, the Mark Marrow story.
Oh God. He also has a self-help book out.
Oof.
It's only like 80 pages though. More of a pamphlet.
I don't know. I really don't.
Way of the Blade. One of mine is on the list. Or Way of the Blade, where the guy just goes through bloody matches, which would just give us the opportunity to just watch bloody matches, and I can talk about how much I love them.
Okay, interesting.
And also that guy is within the circle. He can be.
yeah,
He would probably go on every fucking episode.
I heard
and
that
talk.
interview with him.
Yeah, I
Right,
mean,
him and Tony.
Tony, he's done different. He's done. I think our friend Doc has interviewed him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's available. He does the work. He's a pleasant guy. So we could just watch. It couldn't even be us reading the books. We just watch some bloody matches with the guy and call it a day. I don't know. But he's written 2 now. He's done what is it? Or just bloody matches that are good. A lot of mid-south stuff. And then he did an AEW book specifically about bloody matches in AEW.
Oh,
Because AEW's great.
okay.
Of a major promotion doing blood.
The Last
Gus.
Heart Beating by Natty Neidhart. Oh, you know what okay. Another thing I really am leaning towards is a Diana book.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
There's something about our first woman's book being Diana's too. That is just kind of.
But her fiction though.
Oh, interesting.
Is it though?
Yeah, it is her
Believe-
story. Exactly. It's not fiction.
Believe women. No. Believe women.
Okay.
Do we go with a half truth? There's some half truths in there. I mean, it got taken off the shelf, correct?
I'm talking about her fiction books.
Oh, she actually wrote fiction.
She wrote 3 of them. But what I'm saying is, I've read one of them. It's basically her story.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Is that what she did since she got sued? She
I
basically
think
just.
so. Yeah, she
I
just
thought her-
decided
I
to
thought
throw
her
some
regular-
romance into it, and yeah,
I thought a regular book got pulled because
it
of
did.
fictions. Okay. So she's just getting books pulled left and right. She
No.
can't get a book on the shelf.
No. These 3 are
Her-
on the shelf.
Okay, the fiction ones are. Okay.
The bio was pulled, yes.
bio-
Although honestly, I don't. None of it really rings untrue to me. They're just kind of scandalous stories, and she dishes on there. Well, and she also direct quotes. But so then she wrote 3 fiction books, romance novel covers, but she's married to a wrestler and falls in love with a younger wrestler. It's like, it's her story.
Is it Sean? So it's supposed to be Sean, the younger, or
I think it's the young guy she was dating after Davey leaves her.
oh,
He was a younger wrestler. He was like 20.
are pills involved?
I don't know if my Kindle still has them saved. I'll have to see if I.
You're just typing in pills and Kindle. Pills.
I'll breeze through it if it's worthwhile. It'll get consideration.
Well,
What
man,
about Bruce Hart's book?
Oh no.
What's it called? Broken Heart, or what is it called? Or
Something with a heart.
it's something. It's something with the heart. Oh yeah, Natalia, is her book published yet? No,
That's
not
what
yet.
made me think of all this. Yeah, her book.
Yeah, she's got one coming out as well.
No, she got a new gimmick coming out too.
That's what Ross says. Uncle Ross. I just like the fact that there's still at least a few hearts left. Just sticking there.
So many. The Blade is there. I remember him writing in the WWE.
Yelling at who did Blade yell? Oh, Vito, Big Vito, or not Big Vito, Vito LaGrasso, right? Yeah.
Somebody
Said my dad doesn't know who you are.
My dad doesn't know who you are. Well, Brett doesn't know. Who did Brett say who to? It was a woman's wrestler, right? Brett doesn't know who anybody is. He doesn't know. Blade knows who Io Sky is. Didn't somebody say something?
Brett did. Yeah.
And Brett was like, "Well, what's his? Who is he?" And they're like, "It's a women's wrestler." God, speaking back to the beginning, where the guy was like, "Where's the Jesse Ventura interview?" Look, we've talked about it already. The Barry Bloom thing is a hurdle. Nobody wants to engage with Barry Bloom.
Yeah.
We would have interviewed Mick at that point. I feel like Barry Bloom's going to quote us a price that we're not willing to pay. I mean, look, our price point is already known. What did Vince quote us? 125. 150? I said 125. I was like, that's too much. 150? That's no way. No. Not for his routine. Not for his routine.
I don't know.
I don't even want to see Vince's bemused face when he realizes the game. I don't want to see his squinty eyes as he's like, I know what's going on here.
I would just die of cringe of having him on.
I couldn't do it. I would no call, no show.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I told we had the bit.
I could do it with you if I had you as support, but I would feel.
We even had the bit, and I was like, I can't even do the bit because the minute the bit happens, Vince is going to be like, you know what the worst thing is? Somebody that thinks they're in on the bit and they play along.
What would be a
with the bit.
good bit with Russo is you talk to him straight. Let's talk to him about sports, but we casually throw in the N word.
Oh no!
And just see if he rolls.
No.
Oh,
Jesus!
Wait, when you say the N word, do you mean Negro shoes, as Vince Russo wrote about?
We're talking about Giants. I don't know, but we.
You just casually like, let me move my Negro shoes away. Hold on, my dog is chewing on my Negro shoes. Bro, I know what you're talking about.
Screen cap that moment, and that'll be worth $150.
His eyes lighting up with like, I know what you're talking about. Shoes that are colorful. Right, Vince. Right.
All right, we're done.
All right.
It's Wilson again. That was fun. I bet it was the best episode ever. You know what you can do to help the workers out? Rate, review, all that good stuff on whatever app you're listening to. Tell us how much you love us. If you want to contact us, it's theworkersclubshow@gmail.com. We got a YouTube, The Workers Club Podcast, a Blue Sky, theworkersclub.org, and we have a Discord where the invite link is left in various places. I'm sure you can find it. That's it. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Bye.
Smile and love each other.